Welcome to Outta Left Court. Let's introduce our starting three. Coming in at 5 foot, short, straight from the Bama. Did some time in the slammer. It's Mr. Moneybags himself, Richie Rich. Up next, the man with the approachable face, coming in with a 96% shoot your shot percentage, the king of the double-double, Matty Nice. And last, but most certainly not least, the tall, blonde, and handsome one who does not have the creativity to come up with a cool nickname. It is Connor.
And we're back, motherfuckers. I'm here to introduce myself, Connor, the king of normality. Richard, the half-eaten churro.
There it is.
And king leftward sloping cock, Matty Boy himself.
Let's go, baby. Leftward sloping penis.
With the left sloping fireplace penis.
How are we doing today,
That's
gentlemen?
awesome. What's up, everybody, man? Welcome to the show today. What's happening today, fellas? What we getting into?
Let's start with what we're listening to and what we're drinking.
Yeah, we got to go around the room and talk about that, man.
Matt, start off, because you're always gay as shit, and you're always, like, drinking water and shit.
So what I'm drinking today, it's not water.
Oh, but it looks like it.
It is clear. No, it's,
It looks like oil.
It does kind of look like it's Jones cane sugar soda, cream soda flavored.
Yep, no alcohol, because we don't do underage drinking.
Yeah,
That's
underage
true.
drinking is
No
real
condone
bad.
of that. However, any Jones soda, I've never had a bad one, really.
Jones soda, shout out Jones soda.
They're pretty good.
And
And
I've never had a Jones soda, but
for the record, they're pretty
I will
tasty.
try one.
And I know for a fact you can go on and customize like your own bottles and do custom shit and have them ship it straight to you.
Really?
No shit.
It's interesting. Yeah, we looked into it.
That
Wife
explains why there's no
yeah.
consistent pictures on their bottles.
Yeah, the wife and I
are
were
they
looking.
only in, like, convenience stores? Or can you go
I
to,
think
like, Walmart
I
and
think
shit,
they're just
you know?
not super
They're-
regional out here for the
They're
most
at King
part.
Supers.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
a
They
bunch of
are.
them at King Supers,
Okay.
yeah.
So I know they do that. I know they did a thing for a while where they just had like people submit photos and they just use random photos on random bottles.
That's fire.
Like they do some cool stuff interacting
That's
with
fire.
their fan base.
That is cool.
What you been listening to though, boy?
So I've been listening to some punk music, a local band out of out of Denver.
Local,
Not
Denver's,
local.
Denver's relatively local.
Kind of.
Most of our local artists here,
If you're into-
and our actual locals, pretty trash.
I'm not gonna say that because I have a music show, but I actually
That's fair. That's
I
fair.
actually had the
Shameless plug.
Yeah, I actually, speaking of which, I had the
Shameless plug it now.
Plug it.
yeah I
Just
had
plug
the
it.
honor of actually interviewing this band on the hippie gravesite. It's called In the Whale.
That's the name
That's
of
the
the
name of
band.
the
the
band.
name of the band,
That's
yeah.
a bad name.
Okay. In
I
the whale.
disagree. They're good guys.
In the
Yeah,
whale.
I bet they like sperm whales.
Maybe.
In the whale.
Shout out Mike and Eric from In the Whale. They
Don't
do
listen
some
to
punk
this,
music.
Mike and Eric.
Mike and Eric. Shout out.
Shout out. And
I already don't
released-
like you guys.
Well-
They released
penis.
a new album a little while ago, and it was kind of fire. And
What's their genre?
like punk.
Okay.
Punk.
There you
And
go.
they're from
Inside the Whale, sexually,
Denver.
is
Inside
who you
the
need to be
Whale.
listening to.
Currently
There
on
it is.
tour in London.
What
Wow,
the
that's
fuck?
kinda impressive.
That's a big time move.
Yeah, they're
That's impressive.
doing some world tours right now. They're in UK right now, and I think they're going to Mexico next.
Hey, shout out Whale Penis.
That's what's up.
Shout out In the Whale Penis.
In the Whale. Sorry, my
For
bad.
sure.
We said a lot of things. I forgot what their name was.
In the Whale.
Something about the whale.
That makes more sense as a name.
Way more sense.
Okay, shout out to punk music and
Shout out
In the
punk
Whale.
music and In the Whale.
So is that what
Alright.
you've been listening to, or is that
Yeah.
just a shout out to them?
No, that's what I've been listening to. They just
Fuck yeah,
released
boy.
a new album a few weeks ago, and I've been listening to it.
So I'm gonna kick off right now. I am drinking. It's a mixed drink today. It's Screwball and Blueberry Red Bull.
Yep, that goes for the both of us.
It gets real close to that PB&J with a little caffeine on the side there. It's real good, man.
I
It
can
really
dig that
is.
shit.
Fire.
It's good.
Fire.
I personally give that shit like a 7.5, 8 out of 10.
Yeah.
Definitely above average.
Yeah.
Tight.
I've been listening to a TikTok famous song where most people only know about 30 seconds of the motherfucker. It's called Art Ho by Call Me Charisma.
Don't
I
even
mostly
know 2 seconds of that.
Well, I would play it, but we would get dick slapped.
I would prefer not to get dick
Speaking of dicks.
not looking forward to that.
I've had enough of that in a long
However,
time.
shout out
true.
to Call Me Charisma. This dude has a funny TikTok page where he just goes and finds like short, dark-haired women acting like thoughts, acting a fool,
Fatherless activity.
fatherless activity, And he calls him out because his lyrics directly relate to that.
Bro, that's the shit you showed me today,
Funny
right?
as shit. So you
That
have
shit
heard a
is-
few seconds of that song.
Yeah,
now.
yeah. I didn't even know that's what you're talking
That's
about.
what it was
that
called.
shit is fire. That
Funny
shit
as
is funny
fuck.
as fuck.
What about you, Rich?
Man, so anytime I'm listening to some shit, it's most of the time gonna be hip hop. So we talked about him on the last show, a dude that I fuck with heavy. So I've been listening to J. Cole. No particular album. I really just got it on J. Cole.
Spotify
Shuffle.
type shit?
Yep, on Spotify.
Oh,
Shuffle, J. Cole. Drinking the same thing that Connor was getting into, man. So he put me on this Screwball and Red Bull. Fire. And then I'm always a beer drinker, so
Gotta have
I always got the Budweiser. I always got the Budweiser on the side,
fancy-ass
bro.
can.
That's an alternate
You know
can.
what
I
I'm
didn't even
saying?
think it was Budweiser. That shit looked
Yep.
like some World War II ass shit.
Yep, that's some old shit, boy. You know how
Is that their throwback for the
old
holidays?
school?
What's this can for? You know the
Bro, I
significance?
really don't know. What
It
I
looks-
do know
it looks
is my
kinda
homie
cool,
brought me this.
It looks like they're gonna
Budweiser.
put Tecate out of
I
business with
know,
that can.
right?
Yeah,
That
no
shit
kidding.
looks dope.
Fuck you,
So,
Tecate.
yeah, that's what I'm rolling on, man. J. Cole, little Screwball, little Budweiser. Fuck with me.
Bro, I'm making waves this episode. We just get through the intro. I said fuck you to a band and a beer company.
Yeah,
Boy.
we're burning bridges.
Fuck their
And-
bridges.
All
But
right,
we're
so-
past 2 minutes, though, yeah?
Yeah.
You know what? Hey,
Fucking golden.
you know what else? I want to say this right now. We're looking for a sponsor at all times. We barely have listeners.
At
That's
all
fine.
times.
We appreciate every last goddamn one of you.
We love
Facts. Hey,
What's
but-
our favorite water brand right now, boy?
boy?
Liquid
Liquid
Death,
Death.
Liquid Death. This is not a sponsorship thing,
Should
but we
be.
recently discovered them. They're fucking awesome. If they hear this, hit us up, boy.
Shout out
Fire.
Liquid Death.
Shout out
Shout
Liquid
out
Death.
Liquid
Good ass
Death.
water,
Good
looking
ass
like a
water.
beer on the side.
Dope ass
You make me
cans.
feel better about myself, Liquid Death.
That shit is
Always
facts.
murdering my thirst.
Always. And
That may as well have been an ad read, man. God
always
damn.
murdering.
I'm telling you, I believe in them, man. I'm about to jump on and order some
resurrecting
cases.
souls.
They resurrect souls. Into, what was it? Into a meat body, so they can apply for a
So they
marketing.
can murder more thirst.
so they can murder more thirst. Apply for a marketing job that they don't do.
We
Apply
fuck
for a
with
marketing
Liquid
job
Death.
that they don't
Yeah.
do.
Liquid Death is fire, bro.
Fuck yeah. Okay, seamless transition time.
All right, so let's talk about what's going on in the world. So let's talk about the six. Let's start with kind of a big topic right now, kind of
Yeah.
an international one at that too. Let's talk
Bad
about Pink
thing
Floyd.
is, I don't even think a lot of people have even heard.
I don't
of
think
it.
a lot-
Remember when I brought it up to Connor? He was like,
I hadn't heard of
"Who
it.
the
I-
fuck is that?"
I
I
did
had
a
to look
little
into it.
research. I was doing a little research on this topic. We're talking about Peng Shui, by the way.
Peng
Yep.
Shui.
Peng
I was
Shui.
doing research. I found hardly any United States articles about it. It was all international that was translated into English.
Yep. Very true. Now, I did see, so just a little context for what actually is going on, if you guys don't know. So she came out, accused one of the higher powers in
The
China.
former vice president.
There
of
it
the
is.
CCP.
Yes. Accused him of sexual assault.
Piece of shit.
She basically disappeared for what?
3 weeks.
3 weeks, right? 3 weeks disappeared. United States reached out to China, said, "Hey, we need some proof of life." China originally sent out an email saying, "I am Peng Shui, I'm okay, blah, blah, blah." United States said, "This is nowhere near good enough."
They ain't gonna fly, bitch.
Right?
Gonna
Like,
fly.
fuck that. We need some real shit.
Even
Then,
the Taliban sends us videos when they fuck someone
ain't
up.
that the truth? And
Fucking
then what's
pussies.
fucked up, though, is after that, then China just came out and said, we don't know what y'all talking about. Did y'all see that?
Yeah.
So then they retracted and said, "Oh, we don't even know what y'all are talking about. We don't even know that that's a story or anything."
Who's Peng
So-
Shui?
That's exactly what they did with COVID.
Now,
And the Tiananmen Square massacre.
I seen...
They are big
what?
pieces of
They
shit
are
over
big
there.
pieces of shit.
They
over
are
there.
big pieces of shit. And we still buy shit from them.
Because
Makes
it's
no
cheap.
sense. It is cheap. It is cheap. This might probably from China.
Slave labor's always a little cheap.
Typically.
Children
so I
with bloody
see, and I
fingers.
don't have any proof. I didn't fact check it, anything like that. But I seen today on an article. Shit, I don't know if it was CNN. I don't know where I seen it, which is terrible on my part. But I seen that she actually had a Zoom video call with the Independent Olympic Committee. So basically, at this point, we can say she is safe, or at least enough to actually speak to them in a call. Like I said, didn't look like she was in any kind of danger or anything like that, which is kind of weird.
And she also thanked the IOC.
Yeah, like I said, that whole situation is weird as fuck, man, and I really can't
honestly
wrap my finger around it. But what I will say is she'll be dead very soon.
Very soon.
Okay, so I found some information just now.
Okay.
On the Google device while you were talking about that call because I wanted to kind of get that right.
Sure.
So, activist group Human Rights Watch, that's the name of the group,
Okay.
has since raised major concerns about the virtual call between Bach and Peng, Bach being the representative from the Olympics.
Yep.
The group accused the IOC of helping China to engage in sports washing, laundering a country's reputation through sports ahead of the Beijing Winter Olympics set for next year. The IOC has shown in the last few days just how desperate it is to keep a games on the rails, no matter the human cost, HRW China Director Sophie Richardson said in a press conference Tuesday morning. Of Peng, the IOC said in its Sunday statement that she was doing fine and relaxed, quotes, during her virtual call with Bach.
That was air quotes, by the way.
They were air quotes, that's why I said quotes. Fuck over it. The committee also emphasized that Peng has asked to have her privacy respected.
Meaning she's
Very
captured.
conveniently.
Notably, as CNN points out, the IOC hasn't explained how the video call was organized, raising eyebrows as to whether the Chinese government worked with the organization to arrange the call as part of a propaganda push.
There we go.
So it is
It is
still very
all
up in the air.
still
Keep
very-
in mind, these
Like I
are
said-
allegations against a former government
Piece of
person.
shit.
And you don't
Right?
do that shit in China.
You don't do that shit. In
You
China.
don't do that
That's
shit
a
in
big
China.
no-no.
We do know that as a fact in China.
That's a fact.
Anyone that tries to have a voice,
They
You
ban
individual of the government,
You
no
will
matter
get-
what it is,
you
and
will
this
get
is
murdered.
a big statement, yeah, they come for you.
You would
Yeah.
get murdered.
So
Like,
prayers up for Peng. Hopefully she can survive this
Facts,
whole
man.
situation.
Hopefully, Human Rights Watch is actually an organization I'm familiar with, and they're usually pretty good about this type of stuff.
So
We'll
what's
see,
your
man. I
what's your
just feel
final
you
thoughts,
are.
Matt, on the whole Peng Shui? Are we saying that? Is it Shui?
Peng
Hey,
Shui,
Peng Shui.
hey, respects
know.
out if we don't get it right, but you know who we're talking about, bitch.
What's your
Yeah.
What's your thoughts?
Honestly, I think this
Cut
is
that
just-
bitch part out.
Leave the bitch part in there.
Anyway, I think this is kind of an interesting thing, just because it is known that China is a very totalitarian government, and it's definitely not out of their.
Oh shit, that's attached.
That's part of my mic stand.
Thought it was just a thing.
I love Connor's randomness. That's what makes this shit so good. As Connor trying.
Hey, people, sorry for the interruption.
As Matt's being serious as fuck on his final thoughts, Connor's all. Let me get this shit off.
Playing with it.
It's my,
Oh,
it's
that's
my,
just
it's my
attached.
non-ADHD ADHD. You know what I'm saying?
All right. Go ahead, man.
Sorry about
'cause
your
you
final
sound like
thoughts,
you
man.
had a good point.
That's
Go
my
ahead.
I was just saying, assuming this is very much a cover up on behalf of the CCP, it's definitely not out of their character, given that they have a tendency of covering up anything that makes the government look bad. Historically, they have a tendency of doing that.
Facts.
So my final thoughts is that senior vice president Chinese motherfucker. When allegations like that come out, it's surface level shit. That guy's a piece of shit and should die.
Well, there you go. Final thoughts for Connor.
Anyway,
So
let's
my
And prayers up
final
for Peng
let's go ahead
Shui.
and get your final
thoughts
thoughts.
on Peng Shui is actually, now that Connor brought that information while we was sitting here in the show, that shit sounds like 100% just cover up. And like I keep saying, she gonna get murdered.
She fucking gonna die.
She gonna die.
gonna
There's
die.
no
Yeah.
doubt about that, man. And,
R.I.P.
Yeah, fireplace
Already.
penis,
She
man.
probably,
Yeah, let's go ahead and move on to our next topic of the six. Antonio Brown, what's going on there?
Woo, this is Connor's shit.
So
we gotta
Anto-
go straight to Connor because this
Okay,
is his
okay.
team.
Yep.
All of a
So,
sudden.
his team. Antonio Brown's making news again.
Again.
And the reason being is his former chef, who used to live with the man, made
Cooked him ramen and shit.
cooked him ramen and shit, whatever kept the boy in shape. Probably not McDonald's like Chad Ocho's Johnson. But anyway,
Joe Johnson.
but what I am saying is this chef came out.
Priceless.
He might be butthurt for being shit canned from the house, but he said that Antonio Brown paid money for a fake COVID vaccination card so he could skirt the NFL's guidelines for unvaccinated personnel.
So my first question is just simple question, you think he's telling the truth?
This seems like a money grab, and Antonio Brown seems like an easy target.
Matt, you think he's telling the truth?
I mean, it's kind of hard to tell. I think I'm kind of with Connor on this, especially since, like, given it's kind of convenient that this information.
It is. So, like, originally when I seen it, I was like, oh, yeah, Antonio Brown fucked up again.
And it's a weird number.
It wasn't until I seen
like,
Bruce
what,
Arians'
$500?
fucking interview where he was like, bro, we did everything we needed to do, and I'm 100% confident. And if you motherfuckers can show me that it's not, then we'll talk about it then.
So it is important to note that an ex-girlfriend, I believe, or ex-fiance also came out, and she specified that Antonio Brown paid a teammate $500 for a fake COVID card.
Hey, can we...
And
listen,
it's worth noting that the organization has said that they've done all their due diligence and requires evidence for this to be proven true.
So, but can we talk about how come Antonio Brown's bitches keep snitching on him? My boy ain't laying no pipe. My boy ain't laying no pipe.
His pipe be so shitty that these bitches be loud.
Them bitches be like, oh my god, I can't wait to snitch on this.
I think he's just that rich and stupid.
Well,
I think they're just taking full advantage.
This is also true because you have to keep in mind.
Pipe aside, I don't judge another man's pipe game.
This is. I mean,
I'm not a plumber.
I mean, I do. I mean, I would definitely judge another guy's pipe game.
Well,
I mean, for sure.
Think about who's speaking up on this too. It's his former chef and his ex.
It's two people that are former in his life.
Two people that don't particularly like him.
And the chef came out and
Who
said
does like Antonio?
The chef, as far as I've been made aware, as of today, which is the 23rd of November, there has not been an update where anyone has provided evidence.
So,
as far as
at
I've been
what
made aware.
point can we say we just have to move the fuck on? Like, how long are they going to let that shit drag out?
Honestly, this is going to be one of those things. They're going to sit and wait on the evidence, and Antonio Brown's going to keep doing what Antonio Brown does.
Which is
a lot of shit.
a lot of shit.
A lot of shit.
That's one thing we can talk about Antonio Brown. That motherfucker does dumb shit.
Old
But you
time.
put him between them lines, bro, the
He's goofy
numbers
on the field,
don't
man.
lie, man. My man's as good as there's ever been in between those. As far as how long that he's been in the league so far,
Especially between the hashes.
he is as good as there has ever been at that position. Trust me, I know. I'm a Steelers fan.
That's no cap.
Yeah.
My man put in work in that motherfucking black and yellow, dog.
Well,
I wish he would have stayed in that shit,
Right.
but he's as good as there's ever been at
Where
the
the
position,
Raiders
man.
thought he was going to turn their organization around just based off his talent. Now, granted, he came with another whole load of problems back in that day.
Yeah, he fucked him over so bad.
so
that shit was
fireplace
so
penis. Let's go ahead and
Boy,
get some.
Your
final
penis
thoughts.
is all about fireplace.
Let's go ahead and get some final thoughts on just this whole situation.
So-
Free my boy Antonio.
Hey, I'm almost in the same point. Like, my final thoughts is this is the one time I can say I'm gonna be in Antonio's corner.
Yeah, we'll see how this ages.
We'll
though.
see how it ages.
all I'm gonna say is, could he just get immunized like Aaron Rodgers? Come on.
He could have got immunized
Immunized.
and been good.
Shout out A-Rod with the gout.
My boy got the gout.
My boy got the
Still throwing 3 tutties though.
All right.
My man a gout. And
So we
throwing 3
got
tutties.
to check in on our third topic of the 6.
Oh,
Hey, so
God. Yeah,
this
so
is a little more serious.
There's a
Though.
little
This
more
is a lot more serious.
So
Rittenhouse back out there on the streets. He a menace to society, boy.
that's a hell of a way of putting
That
it.
is not as serious as we thought.
No.
I don't like things being serious. But what I do like is
Hey, Matt, could you try to put this in terms that listeners might be able to understand?
yeah, I'll let
and then me and Connor will do what we do and we'll clown.
I'll let Matt get the serious portion out.
Yeah, let Matt do the serious shit
This
and
is
then we'll
kind of a
clown.
follow-up with the Kyle Rittenhouse trial, for it has since concluded since the last
Bruh,
episode.
pause. Wait a minute.
Why don't you take
Already?
the sticker off?
So I got a Chick-fil-A cup, and you know how they print out whatever you're drinking on the
Yeah,
sticker on the side.
absolutely.
I peeled it off. This bitch says you're part of the best part of today.
Absolutely.
Chick-fil-A's fucking awesome.
My pleasure.
Goated.
I used to work there.
I didn't know that, dude.
My pleasure.
Chick-fil-A can suck my fireplace penis. So,
We here for you, boss.
Kyle Rittenhouse, as we all
Something
know,
like it.
we all know the story, but we're not going to spend time on that. The trial ended, and he was acquitted of all charges.
Facts. Why was he acquitted of all charges?
Well, it was deemed by the jury to be self-defense, and that it was the killings.
Sticker turned my fingers black.
So
Or not premeditated murder.
They were not
Okay.
premeditated.
They were not premeditated. That is the key thing.
So we can't get deep into this because this is a fucked up ass subject.
So
Right? We
crazy.
talked about it last week.
I did hear
about-
the judge threw him his AR-15Y, the Tiger.
So this is one of those things we gotta just let this shit die, like we talked about last week, right? Like,
This is
we do.
let this
simply
shit die,
follow
man.
up,
Like
an objective follow-up.
they made the decision. Jury came up with their final verdict.
It's no surprise.
We have no control over what the fuck happened. Like we said before, the biggest part for me that I really worry about is that people don't think about is whether you want to get into the racial thing or whatever. Like nobody's thinking about what Kyle Rittenhouse's life looks like
Right.
from this point on.
Right.
Let's just for a minute, man, try to think about that.
And piece of advice
like
for
I said,
everyone.
that's my only thoughts.
Yeah.
I don't really want to dig into all
We
that
shouldn't
shit.
dig into it. We kind of talked about it
but-
last episode. So my only thing out there is for anyone out there looking to take any sort of action that is in society whatsoever, please think through your decisions and all possible outcomes. If Kyle did that, he could have foreseen, and maybe he did, he could have foreseen that there is a possibility he is looking at a jury in the face pleading for his fucking life after taking another man's, or two. So you have to think about these things in advance and understand what you're doing, because you have to hold yourself accountable at the end of the day.
For sure. And there ain't no going back from bad decisions.
No, you can't fix that. Kyle can never unkill those two people, regardless of their backgrounds. They're two other human beings.
Facts.
So let's talk about what Connor.
Tragedy in
in
Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
A different tragedy in Wisconsin.
Piggybacking off of.
Yeah, was it Waukesha? Waukesha? Wisconsin, you gotta have better names.
For
Let's start
real.
about talking about
what
that.
the fuck is that about?
So
Waukesha, Wisconsin.
Fun fact: that's where the
ain't
corporate
that a
office for
song?
Batteries Plus is.
Ain't Waukesha a song?
I thought it was a name.
I'm pretty
for
sure
a
it's
woman.
a song too.
Waukesha is the
Is that
corporate office for Batteries Plus.
Moneybag Yo song?
It is. That's true.
is.
What?
That's
Yeah.
That's true. Dude, Moneybag Yo, shout out.
Shout out Moneybag Yo. Anyway,
So-
so what happened?
So basically,
Enlighten
and I'm not the best informed on this specific thing. We just saw it, okay?
Yep.
So what had happened, to the best of my knowledge, there was a Christmas parade going on in Waukesha. Families out, as they do, for the holidays.
Or a Christmas parade.
Right. So completely innocent situation. Man jumps in a car, drives through. I believe it was about 30 people got injured. We are up to a death toll of six people.
Two? Is it?
Including-
So I don't know if it's two children, but I do know one for sure.
God.
I
damn.
do know one child.
We know a 8-year-old
For sure.
boy
An
officially
8-year-old,
died.
man. An 8-year-old boy, man.
know an
I'm
eight-
telling you right now, I just had a son that was an 8-year-old that just turned 9.
So,
That
okay,
shit is
so the numbers-
unimaginable.
The numbers are
Unimaginable.
6 dead, including this 8-year-old boy, and injuring 62 people.
Holy
Is there a
shit!
motive to why this man decided to
So
do
he
this?
just now got. I do know he just now got put into custody. I don't know if they've actually talked to him long enough to see what the motive.
So
or
he's out
anything
on
like
bail
that.
right now. He had a $1,000 bail.
How is that possible?
1,000?
$1,000 bail. He's out on bail
How
right
is
now.
that possible?
pay for
And
that right
Waukesha
now.
locals are super upset.
How is that possible?
Yeah, I'm a little upset by that. That is absolutely asinine.
It's not an acceptable situation.
Jeez.
The suspect's
How
name.
is
Should we
that
drop
possible?
his name? I mean,
Fuck yes, we should
Yeah.
drop his name.
Daryl Brooks is his name.
Fuck Daryl Brooks
Yeah,
and
suck a
every
dick.
motherfucking body that
He
got
is
shit to
currently
do
being
with-
charged with 5 counts of first-degree intentional homicide.
Fuck yes.
Good.
Prosecutors have now said a 6th person, a child, has died. So it's one child. It's the 8-year-old. And that will be considered a 6th homicide charge, so he'll be facing
Fuck
6
yes.
counts. Brooks is 39, accused of driving an SUV into the parade. The motive remains unclear at this point.
It has to do something. I bet you money.
I guarantee
it has to
it's
do with the Rittenhouse.
Either Rittenhouse
verdict.
or something
It
inherently
has to.
political.
It
It's-
has to.
It's something.
We will
inherently-
learn a lot more about this situation
Next
as we
week,
move
probably.
forward.
Our next show, we will probably have
We'll,
a ton
we'll
of
probably
information.
have to follow.
But
probably have to follow
at the
this.
baseline of it, man, I mean, there's no evident reason to ever do this.
There's no justifiable reason.
There's no reason.
No, I don't even have final thoughts. Like this shit's like I said,
It's
it
fucked.
fucks me up.
It's
man,
fucked.
'cause
My
Prayers,
I have
prayers to the
final
families.
thoughts go to the
I
families.
couldn't imagine like
There was a silver lining type thing. Some news article tried to put out, basically saying that those that deceased are having their organs donated to those that are survived and injured.
Wow.
That is a
that is
very
a
fine silver
terrible
lining.
silver lining. But
And I don't know why the fuck you'd report on that. So do better fucking
Yeah,
journalism, you piece
For
of shit.
sure,
That's-
man. That's fucking.
I don't know if you were
terrible.
Jezebel. I don't remember
But-
your fucking name, but figure it out.
Yeah, that's
I don't
terrible.
know. I don't know.
Yeah, that's terrible. Like I said, I don't have no final thoughts on that, man. I'm a fucking parent. I can never imagine taking my kids to the fucking Christmas parade
And some shit happening like that.
losing
It's
my
awful.
children.
I expect better of people.
Like, yeah, and we shouldn't. That's the bad part. We shouldn't. People show us over and over again that we should never expect fucking goodness from people.
It's really
Never-
But yeah, we still do.
It's really
You
sad.
know, it's just something natural. We expect the good out of people, and
But-
then we get shit like this.
R.I.P. Prayers up.
Yeah, man,
Fireplace
that's a
penis.
terrible, terrible situation. So if we're gonna go from one terrible situation to another one that's nowhere near as serious,
It's pretty serious.
but this is talking about the NBA. So, man, let's talk about LeBron getting that little sneak shot in.
All right, hey, Matty Nice.
Yes,
Did you get in and watch that slow-mo?
I did.
What do you think, man?
But man, let's be honest though.
You watch anything in
Let's
slow
slow
motion?
that's
Look
what I'm
worse.
saying. Slow anything down, it always looks way more intentional.
But I just
but
want-
I will
yeah.
say, my boy LeBron got a little sneak shot in there.
Yeah,
So what-
he did kind of get a sucker punch in
He
there.
did
but
get a little.
So what
sneaky.
that look like to you, man?
it's hard to say, really. Like it.
I see where my man Shannon Sharp coming from, man. A highly emotional type thing.
Yeah.
You got to get in LeBron's head for a second. He wasn't playing at his peak by any stretch at that point. He only had 10 points at that point.
So he's probably frustrated.
He's
you know.
frustrated. The free
Emotions are
throw.
high.
But bro,
You got to imagine you're trying to get position on a free throw that potentially misses. It wasn't missed. It was made. Get your hands off me,
I
boy.
just don't
And a quick
think,
eye opener.
Like, I don't think it was malicious at all. The main reason
I
I,
don't
say
think it's
that
malicious.
is because like it's so out of LeBron's character. Like LeBron is a whole hoe. Like let's be for real. LeBron is a whole bitch.
Whole bitch.
Like
Whole
LeBron ain't out
King-
there fucking
king of the
trying
flop,
to,
bro.
You know what I'm saying? He ain't
Facts.
out there trying to fucking be that dude. That's you know. What
And
I'm saying?
Isaiah
Like,
Stewart is not that dude.
and hey, one thing though, like if you obviously I know you guys don't follow NBA like that, but bro, my man Isaiah Stewart, we're only like 15 games in.
True.
Dude, my man's been at everybody already. He been at LeBron. He had a little go in with
He
Kevin
been-
Durant.
he been straight dogging about
I
him.
mean, my man's been thrown out of like 3 games already. So he kind of is who he is.
That's what
you
I'm
know
saying.
what I'm saying? Like you can tell he's gonna bring that kind of energy. He's gonna be like.
So let's get
He
hypothetical.
might be the new Bill Laimbeer for the Pistons.
So let's get hypothetical then.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like
I
he might be a
got you.
dude like I don't give a fuck about like I'm not here to fucking just be physical.
He's an enforcer.
Yeah, I'm an enforcer. That's what I'm gonna
Fuck
do.
yeah. So let's get hypothetical. LeBron, obviously he's gonna be on top of that shit. He's gonna know his matchups. You think when that happened, he kind of had a oh shit moment, like this is about to get out of hand type thing? I know who that guy was.
I think if you look
I
at
know-
it, it
I
kind
know.
of looks like
It
that.
kind of looks like he
It kinda looked like-
It kind of looked like LeBron was like, "Hey, y'all gonna protect me like y'all normally do?"
Yeah, it kinda
This
looks like
motherfucker going crazy.
Yeah, we know this guy about to get. I mean,
Like-
we know.
bro. And like he went crazy, dog.
He went
tried to-
crazy.
right?
He got
tried
to go through the tunnel.
Yes, he tried to go.
He Jonathan
through the
Taylor
tunnel.
through everybody at one point.
Yeah, he was.
Jonathan Taylor.
I mean, we could say
shout out to
Derek
the Bills.
R.I.P.
Shout out to Bills.
Live and die by Josh Allen's arm, huh? I do love me some Josh Allen, but that motherfucker kept throwing picks
Bro,
and not tugs.
So, do we think the suspensions were warranted? Should LeBron have got one and Isaiah Stewart, who was the dude bleeding?
1,000%.
So,
Because-
I think Stewart might should have got more. He was acting a whole donkey, bro.
I think I could have seen 3. I don't know if you could do much more than 3.
Yeah, because he really didn't do any like physical.
Because nothing
anything.
actually happened.
That's what I'm saying. That
Really-
was like an old school,
Really,
schoolyard fight.
he's facing like not getting off the court soon enough type shit.
Yeah.
That's really what it is.
Facts. That's facts.
That's really
It's
so.
almost a wrong place, wrong time.
when you look at it, obviously his intentions were a lot more clear than LeBron's. So LeBron won. I'm okay with suspensions the way they are. Honestly,
Yeah, I'm alright
I could
with
see
it.
one more game
Like I
for
said, I
Isaiah.
don't really agree with the whole LeBron getting suspended. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't. I just think he caught dude with a bow, and other than that, you know what I'm saying? Like he got
look-
a flagrant foul. He got ejected.
And I know it's
Like,
not-
he didn't
I know
do
it-
anything
I
to
know
get
it-
suspended an extra game.
But
in
he
my
also,
opinion,
he also lingered on the floor too long. Granted, there was a lot going on. You have to kind of take that into account, but
On a side note, though, can we talk about Russell Westbrook?
Russell Westbrook looking like a whole. I can't even say what I want to say, bro. That guy looked like he's trying to piece up like Conor McGregor out there, bro. He looked like he was about to get finished like Poirier on the court.
Russ out there looking like he's trying to get a boxing contract.
Why that guy look like the mascot from Notre Dame?
Come on, Russ. Russ, like, boy, I will triple W. Say something.
Bro, I wish you could see Rich right now.
My man's look like he boxed in law school, and that's it. The man looks like an old-timey Put up your dukes, huh?
What are you trying to fight or deliver me the newspaper, motherfucker?
Yeah,
Make your
exactly.
decision.
Russ, come on, bro.
No, it's here, buddy. Put up your dukes. We'll catch these hands.
Or the fireplace penis.
Or the fireplace.
By the way, outside of the people told to stay on the bench, he was the farthest away from that whole situation.
That's what I'm saying. He was like, my kids wouldn't hold me back. I would fuck you up.
All right. Final thoughts on this. Final thoughts.
Like I said, I don't think LeBron should have got suspended an extra game. But I think, like Connor said, I'm cool with it, man. I'm cool with 1 game for Bron, 2 for Stewart. Move on. But as a Lakers fan, like, I can't really afford for Bron to be out for another game. Let's be for real.
He'll be fine. He'll get his head right. This will be what brings the Lakers together.
Maybe, yeah.
This is their spark.
It's a bonding.
All right, my final thoughts on this. Yo, Isaiah Stewart, that shit was so fucking fun to watch. If you did that every week, I'd watch so much more basketball. But also, you're going to fuck over your career if you keep doing shit like that, dude. For real? Real talk? Don't do that shit anymore. Just beat your woman like every other athlete, dog.
Yeah, go play some basketball.
My final thoughts. Stewart, it was the Pistons, right?
It was.
Yep.
All I'm going to say, can't have shit in Detroit.
Perfect.
Cannot have shit in Detroit.
You cannot have shit
Speaking
in
of
Detroit.
not
So we got to
have
go
shit
from
in
a bad
Detroit
situation to a great one.
to a phenomenal
This is
Odell Beckham Jr., baby.
This is a crate. I can't even believe. I'm gonna let
like
Connor
every-
talk about this because I couldn't even believe this shit when you told me
before we
this
get there,
yesterday.
Every episode, including the Lost episode that we recorded at first, has mentioned Odell Beckham Jr.
You have to.
Odell's so
Have
good.
to. So not only
The story of
Like,
Odell Beckham Jr.
yes.
is not only getting wilder as we progress, but now it directly involves us. Connor, take it away.
Odell might. Okay. Let me preface.
give him context. Yep.
Let me preface this by saying Odell might be my favorite athlete all time.
You'll understand why. in a
Okay,
minute.
so it was officially announced. It was a deal between, I believe, was it Cash App? I think it was
No.
with
Yep.
Was it Cash App?
Yep.
Cash App and Odell Beckham Jr.
Correct.
That he was going to take the entirety of his new contract from the Los Angeles Rams
$4.5 million.
in Bitcoin,
Correct.
which is crazy as fuck.
That
And
is
then
crazy. But to be fair, he's not the first person in
He's
the
not.
NFL, right?
He's
There's
not.
been a couple of players that have decided to take at least partial of amount, but I want to say Russell Okung maybe was the first player to actually say he wanted his whole contract in Bitcoin.
So he's getting 4.5 million Bitcoin.
Yep.
Now, let's consider why that's a great idea. One, he's a rental, so that's for half a season. He's getting 4.5 mil. You have to keep in mind the Browns are still paying him because he went all the way through waivers. And how much money do you think he's already got saved up? He's with a new contract looming at the end of this year.
Bro, not to mention
It's
let's
free
just say-
Bitcoin, bro.
Yeah,
That's a
and
great investment right there.
Let's just
Yeah, no
say he
kidding.
puts that $4.5 million in Bitcoin. Man, we not well. Maybe everybody don't know, but anybody who messes with crypto understands how crypto moves.
Yeah.
Like, dude, that $4.5 million could be fucking 10 mil next week.
It could be. Yeah, dude. That's a
big.
smart ass move he just made.
big.
In my opinion, that's super smart. Here's the other thing. He also partnered with Cash App to give away what he claimed was $1 million of that.
Yep.
Now, whether that's a separate million from Cash App because they partnered with him or whatever, the details, I don't really give a fuck about. He gave away $1 million worth of Bitcoin.
Which I thought was flat bullshit.
And the rules were that you had to comment on his post with your Cash App tag, cash tag, for those that don't know.
Yep.
And you had to use his hashtag, which was, I believe it was OBJ Cash.
Yeah,
or
something like that.
Or no, OBJ BTC, Bitcoin.
Okay.
So that was his hashtag. You replied that, and then you were in the running, the realm of conversation to receive some sort of money from Odell Beckham via Bitcoin, via Cash
Which I
App.
thought was bullshit.
Which most people would think that is absolute bull cocky.
Myself included.
However, your boy jumped on his lunch break. He went and got some Mexican food for dinner. And when he was walking back, he checked his emails.
Thought
and-
we said lunch, but whatever.
It is what it is.
well, it was 5 in the fucking evening.
Facts.
It was a very late lunch.
That was facts.
Work calls it lunch. I call it, I got to get my grub with my family. Regardless, I get an email that says Odell Beckham Jr. has sent you Bitcoin. Motherfucker.
Couldn't believe that shit.
What? What? So I open my Cash App. I
Get
go.
the fuck out of here.
First off, it's a verified account. Which, duh. He sent me $20 worth of Bitcoin. Now, it's not much.
Fact.
But are you kidding me? Free fucking Bitcoin?
He basically paid for your dinner that night.
I didn't.
And like you said, man, that's from fucking Odell
That's from
Beckham.
Odell
Jr.,
Beckham.
bro.
I'm never spending that, bro. Odell and I, he's the only athlete to ever give me anything
For real.
more than emotional validation.
Facts.
So, shout out Odell Beckham Jr. I don't care if you poop on girls. You're real in my heart.
I do care if he poops on girls.
I would prefer if
but
he
With consent.
I would prefer if he didn't. But the Bitcoin thing cool as fuck.
Bitcoin thing's cool as fuck, but as you always got consent, you keep pooping on them girls, Odell.
As long as you got
Fair enough.
consent.
Consent
you poop
is
on them
key.
bitches.
Any other comments? Because I went through my whole spiel.
Nah, I have no comments. How do you comment after pooping on a bitch?
No, it's pretty.
Rock and roll, baby.
There's golden shower, maybe?
That's an R. Kelly conversation.
It's like a mess.
That is definitely an R. Kelly conversation.
R. Kelly
I don't own
conversation.
plastic
R.
sheets.
Kelly definitely has fireplace penis.
He does have. You know what? I want to talk about fireplace penis. Some people are wondering why we probably keep saying fireplace
And
penis.
keep wondering, bitches.
Keep wondering.
Keep wondering.
He's so convinced. No, you go ahead, man.
No, go ahead. Tell them why.
I want to
Tell them why you love penis.
I don't.
Fireplace penis, specifically.
So, without naming businesses,
Yeah.
You know who the fuck you are,
Without
man.
naming where we work.
we work together, all three of us,
Yeah.
at a place.
Don't
It's
worry
retail.
about where. Maybe you'll find us one day.
Maybe. Who knows?
I don't want to tell you where because I don't need fans at my job.
Yeah.
Unless you're going to buy shit.
Yeah.
Actually,
or
shout
show
out.
up naked.
Yeah, shout out this
That
job.
one.
Anyway,
That would be hilarious.
That would be
that'd be
hilarious.
kind of cash.
I'd make a
My man said that'd be kind of cash.
I missed that. He's sitting 4 feet from me and I missed it.
That might be kind of cash.
So anyway, it's basically retail. I'm a glorified personal shopper, is what I am. And there's this guy who comes in with his kids, and he's like,
We work at Macy's.
Sure.
You can find us there.
Yeah, you can find us at Macy's. Anyway, guy comes in with his kids. He's like, listen, I just rented out this yacht for Thanksgiving.
Hey, but
It was a fire-ass
I was
yacht.
about to say, don't play him weak, though. At least give him some credit for the motherfucking
Man's got a
yacht.
Bro, he said,
fire-ass
look at
yacht.
my fishing boat.
Yeah.
This thing,
My man said, look at my fishing boat.
this thing would compete with Conor McGregor's Lamborghini yacht in my mind.
Yeah.
Ooh, I don't know about that,
Shit was
but that
fire.
shit.
It came-
I didn't see the
gigantic-
picture, to be
It
fair.
came with a staff.
It came with a staff.
It came with
and
a
it's in
kitchen
Cabo.
staff.
What?
The man was
That's
and
real?
The man was talking about riding camels for Thanksgiving.
That Connor did tell me that.
So,
What the fuck?
I was like, what?
the guy comes in, he's wanting some boating clothes. He wants to look like Jordan Belfort on a yacht.
And he's not Saudi Arabian. Just
He's not
throwing
Saudi
that out
Arabian.
there.
Very
No.
white.
Super Caucasian.
Super
Super
Caucasian.
Michael Bisping white, boy.
Yeah.
Caucasian.
Caucasian.
Shout out Michael Irvin.
Caucasian.
If
If you know, you know.
You know,
If you know, you know.
Famous podcast interview.
So, this guy is, I'm helping this guy out, and he's like, hey man, I'm going to show you something. All right?
There's no coming back from this.
He's like, there's no coming back for this. You and I are best friends. I'm going to show you this.
What'd you think, Matt?
My first thought was, I'm an accessory to a crime.
All of a sudden, he just made you an accessory of murder.
All of
Yeah.
a sudden, I'm thinking, this man's about to show me a dead body. He's throwing off this yacht.
Wrong.
Wrong. Arguably,
You wish
the
it was a dead
accessory
body.
would have been a lot better.
That would have been better.
So this man, so there's a very famous photo of Burt Reynolds on a bear rug, stark ass naked.
Google it.
Google it.
Google that shit.
He recreated the photo, had a cardboard cutout of it,
Boom.
an oil painting of it put over his fireplace, thusly
Fireplace.
fireplace penis, and he also put it on silk robes for him and his wife.
So to be completely clear, not only did he show
Matt, did
Matthew
you-
his fireplace
I was
penis,
gonna say, did you actually tell the listeners that he showed you the
There was a cock!
the complete cock?
There was a cock!
and he's a hairy man.
There was a lot of hair, and there was a cock!
But did you also tell him that the cock was impressive?
It was an impressive cock!
First off, that's crazy as fuck that you say that, man.
Matt, why are you so uncomfortable saying that?
Secondly, this man put his cock above the fireplace in a house where he has children living with him.
Yeah. Yeah.
His wife and him both wear robes with his whole fucking penis Why, man? What is wrong with you?
I can't explain it,
bro.
I don't give a fuck about that. It's the concept I'm struggling with. Hey, bro, if you're listening, stay in Cabo. Don't ever come back. That's
never come back.
That's not American.
Cabo
Yeah.
is made for you.
That's
It
some
is
French
made
ass.
for you.
That's some French ass
I
shit,
don't-
boy. And we don't
I
like
can't
quitters up
understand
here.
And we don't like quitters, and we don't like
Cannot
snails.
understand that.
All right,
We don't like. We certainly do not like slugs.
that too. I don't need snails, and I don't need
Or
slugs,
cocks.
Also, do some manscaping. Sponsored by Manscaped.
bro. God damn, we're not
Yes.
sponsored by Manscaped.
But
But
that
we
would
could
be
be.
great if we would be.
Don't say that. That's illegal for the record.
Will you
Oh, we
please cut
can't
that
say
out?
that. We are not sponsored by
we
Manscaped.
have to make it very clear that we are not sponsored.
We are
That is
not.
illegal.
No one gives us money.
Nobody ever
Sponsored by
gives me a
Jones Soda.
sponsor
We
for
could
my
legitimately
Manscaped.
be sued.
Ooh, don't sue us, Jones
But
Soda.
I do Manscaped.
Yes.
Def-
Manscaped.
Take
for
care.
the love of God.
Take care of your
For the
shit.
God,
God, that was a
Manscaped.
hairy bitch.
Fucking dipshit.
God damn.
So anyway, we
So,
hate this guy, but his
but
yacht's cool,
His
Are
yacht was
you-
dope.
and his
like-
kids were super weird.
Very
But
weird.
I bet you probably could have went on the yacht, bro. Like he was loving him.
I
some
guarantee
Matty
you
Nice.
he's on. I guarantee you he's on that
He
yacht
was
naked.
loving some Matty Nice. I guarantee you he's on the yacht naked. With
Guarantee.
the
Not
motherfucking,
naked.
Didn't he? Did he buy the fucking silk robe
He,
and shit?
he bought the gold pajamas.
That's what I'm saying.
100%.
You know he's on there with them gold pajamas right now.
Cock
Balls
flopping.
everywhere, bro.
Cocks are flopping.
balling in more ways than
And
one.
I'm
Fireplace
actually,
penis.
I'm
Fireplace
actually
penis.
kind of jealous.
Kind of.
Fireplace penis.
So speaking of cocks, let's talk about the NFL.
It's not a great
But
thing.
not the cock part. Not the cock part.
The sound has been playing. So
Oh, has it been? I did not hear it.
It's fine.
I didn't hear it all.
It's alright.
But also, I have this music, so.
It's alright. So what's going on in the NFL? What's going on? Other than
Man.
Antonio Brown and Odell.
Oh, bro, you got to. Okay, so we started off the week Thursday Night Football with a New England Patriots team going to Atlanta,
Trash.
and lo and behold, my guy.
Atlanta showed up, boy.
Yeah, they did. They showed up for a goose egg. By the way, Atlanta's made a big deal on their social media about how they're wearing an alternate all-black jersey.
Oh, did they for real?
It was a sexy jersey
Like
to
it was-
lose in.
Like it was some shit, huh?
Yeah, dude, they did. When first off, if your social media team's gonna go and show out for you, maybe show up to the game. That's just
But-
a little bit of
I
advice.
mean,
That's a
they
good-
are the Falcons. When do they show up?
But the Patriots went ahead and did a 25-0 shutout. That was fun. The Patriots, after that game, now lead the Falcons in the last since the Super Bowl. I can't remember how many interactions
Listen.
that is.
One thing we gotta really, really let everybody know is Connor is a Patriots fan.
Yeah, fuck
So
yourselves if
he's
you're not.
always gonna be very biased to the Patriots. But one
As
thing he
any
does
fan is,
a
says the
good
Steelers
job
and Lakers
of
fan.
is
I was about to say it's like Matty Cannonball.
he's very
Philly.
True.
good about being relative to what's going on in the league. Even though he's a Patriots fan,
So I will say this.
so I give him that credit. Because
since the
here in a
Super
minute
Bowl-
we got to talk about the Colts.
We got to talk about a lot of things. So since the Super Bowl, the Patriots have outscored the Falcons, I believe,
112-0.
73-6.
Is that a real stat?
That's a real fucking stat.
God damn.
God damn.
So Bill
Since the
Belichick,
Super Bowl 73-6.
since that third quarter, since that
They
famous
almost pulled
20,
it out.
ever since that 28-3 moment. Okay,
What?
the next game was the Bengals absolutely dominating the Raiders.
Hey, could we blackball the Falcons?
We should.
Is that a thing?
Matt Ryan sucks, but he seems like a really nice guy, but not good at football anymore.
No.
How
Was he
about
ever?
we got to talk about
Yeah, he won it.
Cam Newton's comeback?
Man.
It was his official comeback game.
We talked about that last week, though.
Well, that last week he knew 2 plays in the playbook, and they were both
He
touchdowns.
always knows 2 plays.
This week he ran the offense,
And still lost.
but he
But-
was not the reason they
he-
lost.
I will
He
agree
came
with
to
that. I was
play.
going to say, he is not the
Cam
reason
Newton
they
came to
lost.
play.
Yeah,
He is not
Cam
the
Newton
reason
came
they
in.
lost.
He was 21-27 for 189 yards, 2 tuds, no interceptions, and he ran one.
Holy shit.
That's fire. That's old Cam Newton.
Cam Newton went off.
That's,
boy.
back.
that's old Cam
Man's
Newton right
back.
there.
Yeah. So I think they're just kind of searching for their identity with Cam Newton back
Well,
under
I think
center.
they got to get that defense back.
They do.
I mean,
They
when
do.
we started this season, that's what they could hang their hat on. Like, man, we got the defense. At
Right.
the time, you know what I'm saying? They were like, we don't have a quarterback that we think Sam Darnold. We all knew Sam Darnold wasn't the fucking dude.
we knew he. The
You know what
biggest
I'm saying?
problem with them, honestly, is their O line, and having Cam Newton back there helps a little because he's a little bit mobile. But their O line needs a lot of help.
Booty.
A lot of help, honestly. I mean,
If they had an old line, fucking CMC
these are
would
Mountain
get-
West O linemen.
would get 2,000 scrimmage yards a fucking year.
Right.
Easy.
All right. The next notable game to talk about is the Packers fell in a close one to the Vikings, and it is time. Okay, opinions first.
Hold up.
Sure, I'm holding up.
So Vikings, Packers, I like, but let's talk about the game before that. Texans went into Tennessee.
That's just in a different order than I'm in, but that's fine.
Is it? Oh, okay. Mine's
fine.
in front of the Packers. My bad.
They were
Usually
probably the
get
same
the
time,
other-
but that's fine. We can talk about that first.
And it, like I said, I don't really have a lot to say
That's a
about
huge
that.
upset. So
other
the-
than
So the
I
Texans.
have no fucking
So the weird thing I would say, the
no
Titans.
answer for that. Other than Henry ain't playing, but still.
So the Titans are undefeated against teams that were playoff teams last year, and they have lost to teams that are sub 500 this year, almost completely accurately.
wow, that's a weird.
They lost to the Jets. Super weird. So the Titans kind of play to their competition,
They do, and they do really well. Like so,
and they just shit canned Adrian Peterson.
They
So
almost-
obviously were not happy with him.
they're almost opposite of like we were talking about the Bills about like they love beating up on finesse teams.
Right.
The Titans are almost backwards. Like they do really well when they can match up physically against
Now-
somebody who's just physical. But when they have somebody who can kind of like make them have to think and shit, like they struggle against that.
So I believe the Texans broke a 5-game skid.
They did. I want to say
However,
even 6.
Tyrod Taylor, this was his first game back too, so there's almost no tape on that offense with Tyrod this year. So that could be a major contributor. I believe that the
could.
Titans are definitely still
But
a
Tyrod's
major
been
contender.
kind of underrated his whole career.
Whole career.
Like if he could stay healthy, I believe my man is a legitimate starter in the league.
I think if doctors don't puncture his lungs every other week.
yeah, that fucked him.
Yeah,
I'm
so
pretty sure that was Herbert's like dad or something.
I think so. So that's interesting. Tyrod Taylor's definitely underrated. I think the Titans don't lose any ground in the playoff. They definitely didn't lose any ground in the playoff race, especially with the Bills going down. But it's worth talking about how they can't play non-playoff teams. I don't know what the fuck that is.
Make good
Yeah, well,
playoffs.
just-
Titan, I don't know what the fuck to think of. Is Henry out all year? Because I heard he might
He's on
come
IR.
back for the playoffs.
They said that there's a chance he can make it back for the playoffs.
'Cause that's huge for them.
That would
Like,
be
I mean, that's
huge.
literally everything for them.
That would
That
be
changes
huge.
everything. All right, what's next?
Okay, so
Vikings
we were
game.
talking Vikings
Vikings
Packers.
and
That was a
Packers.
very entertaining game.
I can't believe the Vikings won, man.
What did I see that Aaron Rodgers
Well-
had like 300, like almost 400 passing yards that game?
Aaron Rodgers does Aaron Rodgers things, boy.
385, I think.
He had
385.
385. He had 4 tuds. I mean, Kirk Cousins didn't outplay Aaron Rodgers necessarily. He threw the ball 2 more times, had 1 more completion. He had 40 fewer yards and 1 less touchdown.
Hey,
But Kirk Cousins has 2 interceptions on the whole season. It is time to talk about him in the MVP race.
I know. I told you
That's
before
really
about
good, too.
like
I didn't know that.
you have to start thinking about like I know it's hard. I know it's hard to think about Kirk Cousins as a guy like, man, Kirk Cousins is like, if you don't want to say he's elite, you at least got to put him in that next
year.
group.
The next year.
You got to put him in that next group, man.
Exactly.
And I didn't even know he only had 2 interceptions. You're
has
right.
2 interceptions
My man
in the
got
year.
2 interceptions all year. How many touchdowns?
Let me tell you.
In the 20 range?
So passing 21 touchdowns to 2 interceptions.
Boys, how you ain't talk? The only reason we're not talking about him is because they're a 500 team.
That's it. It's
That's
because
it.
they haven't
Because
been
it's the
winning.
Vikings.
That's
Yeah.
it.
It's because they're 5
And
5.
because it's Kirk Cousins.
Exactly.
If it was anybody else with them stats,
You'd be
So
talking them
what
up.
I'm hearing is we should be talking about it, but we're not.
Kirk Cousins and one other guy this week, I think, elevated into
Jefferson
that.
is that dude.
Jefferson is that dude. But Kirk Cousins and Jonathan Taylor this week, and we'll get to Jonathan Taylor, have elevated themselves into MVP discussion territory, and that is a wide open
It
motherfucking
is.
race.
As the whole league is.
The
let's be
whole
honest.
league is wide open. This week,
whole
Kansas City
league is
Chiefs
crazy.
and the New England Patriots took control of their division.
Yep.
Yep.
When 2 weeks ago we were talking about, oh well, Chiefs dynasty done.
Done.
Like they
Patriots
done. Can't
done.
Get, dynasty for the Patriots been done since Brady left.
Right.
They can't get it right. Blah. And here we are 2 weeks later, and who would it surprise if we see Kansas City, New England AFC Championship game?
Not a motherfucker.
Not a motherfucking soul.
and
Right?
who? Were, and
Nobody. Ain't nobody gonna be
Right.
surprised if them the 2 teams in the
Not
AFC
at
title
all.
game. I know I won't be.
I would be surprised.
Speaking of potential AFC title game matchups, we had the Colts Bills happen this week.
Dude, that
And by happen, I mean
for
the-
me that was the most surprising game this week.
The
man.
most surprising.
That was definitely the most surprise. But Jonathan Taylor
I didn't catch
went.
this game, so then
Dude, so the Bills were what 8-2 coming into the game.
They were
8-2 coming into the game.
I'm sorry. No. They were
7-3?
6-3. They're
6-3
going in the game.
Way the fuck off.
Because they had their bye week.
Okay, so they're now 6-4, but 6-3. A lot of people, though, I think, maybe myself included,
Yep.
would have said, if you made me like put a gun to my head, who's the best team in the AFC, who's representing them in the Super Bowl, I probably would have picked Buffalo.
Yeah, them
Been
were
like,
the Titans
I don't,
for sure.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know which one. I'll pick Buffalo. I'll go with Buffalo because I like Allen that much, right?
Sure.
When Allen goes,
And like I said, I didn't even know
Allen
until
was the same
Connor
side.
was like, "Hey man, have you looked at the Bill score?" And I'm like, "Nah, bro."
So Jonathan Taylor
He's
had
like, bro,
5
you
touchdowns.
watching what Jonathan Taylor doing to the Bills? My man, so 4 rushing touchdowns and 1 receiving, right?
Yup.
Dog. And that puts them. Does that put them over 500? The Colts
Puts them in second place in their
Second
division.
place, right?
They're officially a playoff team today.
No shit.
and
No shit.
and the Patriots took over the lead in that division.
And mind you, Carson Wentz,
in the East, right?
they did.
Patriots took over the lead by a half game
So Carson Wentz,
on
his-
a rebuild year.
so let me tell you the box score, and then I'll tell you Carson Wentz's stats, and you decide if Jonathan Taylor should be in this conversation. Because the box score was Colts 41, Bills 15.
Yes, sir.
Carson Wentz personal stats: 11 completions of 20 attempts,
Boy,
106 passing yards,
boy.
1 touchdown.
He literally did just enough to hand Jonathan Taylor the ball.
Jonathan Taylor's rushing stats: 32 carries for 185 yards,
4 touchdowns.
4 touchdowns.
And 1 receiving.
Damn.
5 tutties.
Yup.
The most touchdowns in the league since Alvin Kamara on Christmas last year. He scored 6 touchdowns.
And
on
mind
Christmas.
you, this is a fun stat because everyone's going to want to compare to Derrick Henry, King Henry, which King Henry's a beast.
He
Jonathan
is.
Taylor.
He got about, what did we say, 40 less carries?
So Henry's been out for 3 games. Jonathan Taylor still has less touches on the ball on the season
By a substantial
by a
amount.
substantial
Like at
amount.
least 30 or 40 carries.
And
I know.
he's currently the league leader
And he's the lead. What has he got? 15 tutties
in
now?
every category. Yeah, so
think
let me.
it's
I can
right
pull
around
up. I
15.
can pull up the leaders now.
Right around 15. And
So in
one
I'm
thing I like about
So,
Jonathan
so
Taylor,
he now has
man,
200
is-
more yards rushing than Derrick Henry,
which
and
he has been out for 3
he has
games.
3 more tuds than Derrick Henry now,
But he
and
does have less touches.
1 more tud than James Conner.
And Connor's second in the league in touchdowns, right?
Yep, he has 12,
Fuck.
and Henry still is third.
Fuck James Conner.
Henry is still third. He's been out 3 weeks.
I know that's crazy.
Henry is still
man.
second in yards.
That
He's been
lets
out
you
3
know
weeks.
how good Derrick Henry is for real.
Jonathan Taylor is the
My man been
only
out 3
competition right
weeks.
now.
3 weeks. But he's still second in the league in rushing and second or third in touchdowns.
Third in
Third
touchdowns,
in
second,
touchdowns,
second in
second
yards.
in rushing, and he ain't played in 3 weeks.
Fucking so Jonathan Taylor, we got to put some respect on your name.
Put some respect on fucking
respect on
Jonathan
the name.
Taylor's name, man.
And I believe, and I could be mistaken, I'm not going to fact check this right now, but I believe he was drafted the same year as Saquon.
We talked about that.
Saquon. We were talking about this at
find
work.
out.
I believe he was
talked about
drafted
that,
the same
man.
year as Saquon and Chubb, and I believe Jonathan Taylor has outproduced both of those guys.
So I won't say like if we're only going this year, but don't forget the fact that Nick Chubb's already an all pro.
But Nick Chubb
Nick Chubb
didn't
made
have.
all pro last year. Jonathan Taylor is not an all pro yet.
But Nick,
He will
that's-
be this year.
That's
Yeah.
fair. That's fair.
He will
but
be
I will.
this year.
But I will say too, circumstances matter, and think about the competition in that running back room for Chubb versus Taylor. Naheem Hines.
I almost think it's more competition in Cleveland.
You think?
Yeah, Nick Chubb's competing with Kareem Hunt.
I don't think Kareem Hunt. You think he's that guy compared to
Well,
Naeem Hines
I
and
take Kareem Hunt
Marlon
over,
Mack?
Yeah, I take Hunt over both of them guys.
I think I still take at least Mack over him.
I don't.
I think it's
I don't,
close.
I don't think that, especially production wise. I think if you go
don't think-
production wise, Kareem Hunt's killing them with production, and he's the second guy. Especially look
Yeah.
at Kareem Hunt when he was the guy in Kansas City before he went to Cleveland. Like my man,
So,
he,
I think-
he had 2,000
So
scrimmage yards.
two comments on that. I believe Cleveland has the best line in the league, and that matters, especially to a running back. And secondly, I believe Cleveland committed to the run as the majority of their offense, Whereas Indy has been doing nothing.
Definitely agree with that.
Has been doing nothing but try to figure it out.
Yeah, for
to
sure.
be completely fair.
That's a great point. I think you're 100% correct.
But that doesn't mean
Cleveland
this isn't
pretty
a
much
debate.
knows, like, hey,
Right,
we
right.
hang our hat on our 2 running backs,
Right.
and Baker just don't fuck it up.
Right.
As to where Indy don't know what they are.
So-
they're just now learning, like, Jonathan Taylor is that
Right.
dude.
And I mean no disrespect to Nick Chubb. That guy's a beast.
No,
in
he's
that
a
himself.
fucking beast.
Especially him in high school. Oh my God, what a man. But speaking of Cleveland, and this is just going to be a real quick part of this whole NFL thing.
Sure.
They barely squeaked a win to the Detroit Lions.
What?
Can't have shit in Detroit.
Can't have shit in Detroit. But what can I say? The Steelers couldn't even beat them. Tied them. I'm going to take a piss.
No, that's fair, man. That's fair. You know what you might be interested in?
Okay, enlighten me.
Well, the Eagles-Saints game. I know you subscribe to Philly. I know it's not your football team. I know you're a
But
Broncos guy.
I do pay attention to Philly sports.
So
and
the
that
Eagles-
includes The Eagles.
Finally, it's looking like Hurts maybe can be a guy because they hung 40 points on the Saints. Granted, the Saints did not have Alvin Kamara,
Granted.
but they won that game 40-29 in a game where Jalen Hurts didn't throw a touchdown. So he was 13 completions, 13 of 24 for 147. But Jalen Hurts did rush. Let me make sure. I believe it was 3. Jalen Hurts ran for 3 touchdowns. Jalen Hurts ran for 18 of their 40 points. You count the extra points in. That's 21 of the 40. We're talking about the Eagles.
Eagles-Saints game.
Eagles-Saints.
All right, cool. So I didn't watch a whole lot of that game, but did y'all see any of the highlights from that game?
Oh, yeah.
Bro, Jalen Hurts, the run he made.
Yep.
Did you see that run that
Yes,
he made?
sir.
Dude, that shit was next level. Like
Jalen Hurts looks like he might be a guy.
That's what I'm saying. If
All of a
Philly
sudden.
don't just say, "Hey, man, fuck the bullshit," Jalen Hurts is our guy.
And let's
Moving forward, we're gonna build around him. You guys are stupid as shit. Jalen Hurts is that dude. He's the same way like Lamar Jackson.
Right.
If fucking Philly will buy into what Jalen does, like Baltimore
And get
buys
him
to
those
what-
off-season help to help
Yeah.
him with his mechanics.
buys
and everything.
into what Lamar does.
He'll be a guy, man.
Dude, he's a guy, man.
And here's the other thing. We need to talk about how different Philadelphia's offense looks when Miles Sanders is in the lineup. They cannot run the ball without Miles Sanders.
Maybe not even when he's in the lineup. Maybe just when they give him the ball.
Miles Sanders had 94 yards rushing.
Give him the ball.
on his first week back from
Like,
injury.
just give it to him. That's one thing I don't like about Jalen is every time he does that fucking read, he keeps it.
He does every time.
It's guaranteed. He's
Right.
gonna keep it.
Right. So they become predictable.
When he gives that shit to Miles, dude, they're
It's
tough to
huge.
deal with.
It's
man.
huge, man.
They are tough to deal
Miles
with.
Sanders averaged 6 yards a carry.
Top notch.
That's
Not bad.
2 handoffs
He's
and a
been
first
gone
down.
for what?
You
Two-
can't
he's been
lose
gone for
when
a
you're
couple
doing
of
that.
weeks at least, right?
He's been out 3 or 4 weeks, I believe, with injury.
Yeah.
And also, the Saints allowed Trevor Siemian, and I don't know what their game plan was necessarily. I don't ever put anything past Sean Payton. Trevor Siemian threw the ball 40 times.
Trash. There's no way they could win with him throwing 40.
3 tuds, 2 interceptions.
But here's the thing: is James? That Jameis injury. Is he done for the season? What the
Season.
fuck is the deal?
Damn.
He's out for the season.
His season's over. As far
So what is the deal that they are picking Simeon all of a sudden over
the guy they just gave a fucking huge contract extension to?
Tatum? Or not Tatum. Damn it, Taysom Hill.
Taysom Hill.
Why are they picking all of a sudden Simeon over Taysom Hill? I am super confused on that.
I think they like Hill as that flex option to do the tight end type shit, man. I think Hill is...
Well, he is definitely a better player when he is able to. When
Right.
Peyton's able to use him the way he wants, he's a way better player than just. But I'll argue that he also is a better quarterback option every down than Trevor Simeon.
Winston
is.
lost his ACL, man.
Ooh, I didn't even know he did the ACL. I mean, that injury.
5 days ago...
That injury was.
Oh, it
bad.
says MCL sprain. So on the
he could
initial
come
injury
back.
report, it
So,
says knee.
yeah.
It says knee ACL, and then when I click into it, 5 days ago is the latest update via ESPN. In addition to the torn ACL, Winston was diagnosed with an MCL sprain.
Oh shit!
Oh,
yeah, he
shit.
done.
yeah,
done.
he's done.
Done.
He had surgery,
Okay.
so
Okay.
he's out skis.
He's out.
However,
so what did that?
Taysom, by the way, just got a weird-ass contract extension.
But the Saints lost. What would that put their record at?
So the Saints
500 or so.
I think it's
So yeah,
is it right at 500?
5-5.
I think it's right at 500.
5-5.
Yeah. But so Taysom Hill got a weird ass. I think it was $45 to $95 million contract
Just
extension.
now?
Yesterday, Monday.
Really?
Monday the 22nd. Yeah, they're calling it like the weirdest fucking. Let me look it up because.
But
let me read this because it is
weird as shit, bro.
It is a weird
That
ass
is weird as
extension,
hell.
man.
But like we literally just talked about though. Like
So it's
his real value comes from being able to move all over the field.
Okay, so let me read this. So the headline says Saints Hill inks a 4-year deal worth $40 to $95 million, depending on position.
Now, does that kind of say like, hey, we're kind of counting on you to be the guy at quarterback?
So what it says is he will receive $40 million if he stays over all 4 years as the do-it-all weapon role.
90
In
if he's the
addition
quarterback.
to $55 million if he becomes the full-time starting quarterback, and he's guaranteed $22.5 million of that
how
contract.
great of a contract is that
That's
for
a
him?
hell of a contract.
To say,
Holy shit.
literally the ball is in my court. If I
That's
just
a
want to
cool
go be
contract,
that
bro.
dude, I make 90 mil.
Yep.
But
If I don't wanna be
here's
that
the
guy-
terrible thing: I'll settle at 40
To be
if
a
I just
do-it-all
want to
guy.
be the do-it-all guy.
How many people get to be a do-it-all guy at the NFL level,
Dude,
man?
that's
Yeah, how often do
crazy.
you see
That's-
that?
I didn't see that. That's
Tay-
fire,
Taysom
bro.
Hill might be like the luckiest fucking
Like,
guy on the planet.
Yeah,
He
that's
definitely
bullshit.
has like.
Holy shit.
He's got as much leverage as anybody I've seen.
Right?
In his position for his contract.
that is a
That's
powerful
fire.
position.
That is
Absolutely.
a powerful position he's
That's
in.
cool as shit.
That's
and
cool as shit.
And the Saints also, they gave themselves the ability to, hey, he can become a guy, and
Or
we will
we'll
take
just-
care of him appropriately.
Yep. Or we'll just
someone
use
else is
him
gonna
like
be
we
the guy.
do. Yeah, that's genius.
That's awesome.
That is genius.
Damn.
That's a fucking great contract for
That's a hell of a contract.
both sides, in my opinion. I think that's a great contract for him.
I think that's good
I think
for
that's a
everyone around.
great contract for New Orleans.
100%.
Like you said, because if he turns out to be the dude, well,
Then
we
he's the
pay him
dude.
90 to be the dude.
Fuck yeah, man.
Or we just pay him 40 to be the motherfucker that we know he is anyway.
Mr.
Be the jack of
Reliable.
all- Be the jack of all trades. type.
You know what I'm saying?
It's
Like you can
legitimately a
put
win-win
Taysom
situation.
in for 7 to 10 touchdowns a year
Absolutely.
if you used him as
all
that
over,
all
fullback,
over guy.
tight end.
He gonna score 7.
He can go slot.
A year.
He can do a lot,
Easy.
man. Okay, so moving off of that, because that takes a little. Because fuck, that's a fun conversation
I
right
like
there.
that.
Anyway,
That's a good one. I didn't even know he got that contract.
some smaller news we probably
That's
won't
fire.
talk as much about, but is important for playoff implications. Lamar Jackson was out with illness, non-COVID related, and the Ravens pulled out a win to maintain number one in their division
Good shit.
against
16 to 13.
16-13
right?
against the Chicago Bears,
Yep.
who are
Which-
calling all around different sports for Matt Nagy to be fired after Thanksgiving.
Facts. They are. So I've seen some things that
At the
said
Bull
it
Stadium.
was. They said it was guaranteed, and the Bears are now trying to come out and say, "Hey, nobody has said."
Yeah, Nagy's denying it. The
that
Bears
he's-
organization's denying it. But
Right.
there is a report, credibility uncertain, that no matter what, one way or another, Nagy's
done.
job is done after
done
Thanksgiving.
After Thanksgiving. After
Which, honestly,
But,
if you're the Bears,
like I was saying, the
you
Bears
can start looking for
so
the next guy a little early because you know Nagy ain't it.
Fields left that game too. I
He
do know
did.
that he left the game against
He
Baltimore.
did, and
so
Andy Dalton took the
Dalton
reins.
finished the game.
And he threw 2 touchdowns. He wasn't super efficient,
And
but
well, the thing about it though is he put him in a position to win the game.
did.
The Ravens had to go win the game. Tyler Huntley
Right.
threw a touchdown
And
at the end of the game
Yep.
to go win that game. So Dalton did enough to put him in a position to win.
and I believe that Fields is dealing with a rib injury, so he will be out this next week, and Dalton
Which
is the starter.
Goes all the way
For
back
Thanksgiving.
to Ohio State. He was dealing with rib injuries from Ohio State.
Right.
In the college football playoff.
Right.
When he got hurt, he'd been dealing with that shit all the way to the draft, so it's not surprising that he's out right now with a rib injury.
Right. The next game I've got Cowboys-Chiefs with a pretty predictable outcome, to be, in my opinion. The Cowboys were missing going in this game. They're 2 leading pass rushers, so Pat Mahomes got to be relatively comfortable. And also, Amari Cooper was out. CeeDee Lamb left in the middle of the game. Dak Prescott was under duress. It looks like the Chiefs' defense is starting to figure things out. I think it was pretty easy to predict
It was
the
kinda- it
outcome,
was
not
definitely
necessarily the score, but the outcome.
I think it was definitely cut and dry. And
We
when
talked
comes to the
about it,
outcome-
man. That, like, motherfuckers better start realizing
You got to trust the
Like-
best coaches in the league. You got to trust them.
dangerous time right now.
It's a dangerous time.
Everybody else is trying to figure it out. We don't know who's the best in the AFC, all that.
We don't
But
know anything.
Guess who's getting it together right now?
Chiefs, Patriots.
Chiefs.
The same. We just talked about it.
Them
the
coaches.
same, the usual fucking suspects.
Yep.
Yep.
The Chiefs and Andy Reid and the Patriots and Bill fucking Belichick
And Harbaugh.
are starting to get it together, and you can never count out Harbaugh.
Can't
He's
count out
solid as they
Harbaugh.
come.
Yep.
Right? They're gonna be. It's the usual fucking suspects are
Right.
starting to come. The cream rises to the top, man. It always
fact.
does.
It always does.
Always
Always
does.
does.
So, yeah, not much to talk about. Good win for Kansas City. I mean, that's a good one to have on the belt.
Cardinals, nice win without
Cardinals, Seahawks.
Kyler again.
Honestly, not having Kyler Murray
Again.
and not having DeAndre Hopkins, with going against a Seattle that has all their weapons. I mean, I'm not sure Russ is back.
That's what I'm
But
saying.
Russ claims he's
I'm
back,
struggling,
man.
man. Watching him play,
I don't think
even
he's
though
back
he
yet.
said,
Russ
like,
looks
I'm
off,
100%. I'm like, dude, that's not Russ we're watching.
No.
That's not regular Russ, man. It's not.
Right now, I
he's
feel like
fighting
it's-
through injuries, and I can appreciate that shit. I can, but for me, it's a totally different thing. Like me and Connor talked about it before. When is it time for Pete Carroll to go, man?
I think
Dude,
Pete
it's
Carroll.
stale in Seattle.
Yeah.
And he was that dude. Don't get me wrong. Pete Carroll's been great for Seattle.
I think Pete Carroll needs to stay
Great.
so we can see Russ move.
But I like that better. Come to Pittsburgh, Russ. Stop playing.
I want to see Russ. I want to see Russ in a new uniform. Sorry, Seattle.
Come to
I do,
Pittsburgh.
man. I do.
But that's a real thing, man. It's
It is.
to me it's stale in Seattle, and they need something new to rebuy into what they're doing. And unfortunately, like you said, I don't think Russ is there to kind of bring that new Seattle Seahawks regime.
I think they kind of need refreshed even at Russ's position.
Man, I
think that-
I hate. Like, I don't think that.
You don't?
I really don't. Like I said, I'm a Steelers fan. And I hope to God that motherfucker comes to Pittsburgh. Come to Pittsburgh, Russ.
Yo, Russ
We'll
is
let
good,
you
boy.
cook, dog. We'll let you cook.
You get Juju. You get Juju and Claypool.
I'm saying, boy.
He's like, bro, I got D. He's like, I got DK and Lockett, boy.
Yeah, I'm pretty straight.
He's got weapons. Unfortunately
But-
for them, they did lose Chris Carson for the year.
They did. And
He can never
like
get
I
his
said, there's a
neck
lot
right.
that goes into it, but for the last couple, well, actually, I won't even say the last couple. Since they didn't hand the fucking ball off to
Yeah.
Marshawn Lynch,
Yep.
the Seahawks have not been the same.
Well, the Legion
Period.
of Boom deteriorated.
They were done right after
They were
that game.
they were already old.
Like right after that game,
Yeah.
they were done.
Cam Chancellor moved
Chancellor
on.
was gone.
Okay.
But
They all moved on
fucking-
except for Bobby Wagner.
But Wagner is that motherfucking
He is-
dude, bro. He is that dude.
That's a Hall of Famer.
That's
If no
a
one-
Hall of
if
Famer.
no
Oh,
one's
yeah.
paying
Oh,
attention,
yeah.
that
Period.
dude's a Hall of Famer.
Period.
All
He
right.
has 130 tackles a year.
We can get off the Seattle hate train today because we had a hell of a shootout Sunday night, boy. I didn't expect this. Pittsburgh in the chart, bro. You got to be proud of your Steelers in this
No,
one.
I don't.
You
They
got
lost.
to.
They lost.
It's an L.
Yeah.
It was an L. However, it was an L off of one broken coverage.
It was. It was.
Really,
But
because they did everything right. It's the best Ben has looked all year.
it is. It is.
Like-
But the thing that sucks is the fact that you said that. Me as a Steelers fan, I already know. There is no better Ben than what we just seen for the rest of the year.
Yeah,
There's-
273 and 3 touchdowns.
There's
but that's
no
okay.
better Ben than we see all year. They played pretty well considering all the people they had out. No
Right.
Minka, no Joe Hayden, no TJ Watt,
Yeah.
no Juju. You know what I'm saying? Like, we
Boy,
got tons of
Deontay
injuries.
Johnson though.
But
Dude,
He's
Deontay
a beast,
Johnson,
bro.
that's a dude.
he
Man.
had 15 drops last year.
He's,
I talked about this
he ain't
before.
it this year though.
He's got one this year.
He's
Went from 15 to 1.
He's worked
and
on
that
the
was
problems.
the thing last year was anytime he gets the ball, like that dude is a beast. But last year it was literally 50-50.
Right.
We throwing the ball, we don't know if he'll catch it or not.
right.
15 drops is absolutely like
Honestly-
you can't be a receiver in the league. At any double digits drops and you're a receiver in the league, you about to get canned.
Right.
So good for him
Yeah.
that he put in the work, man, to go from 15 drops to 1
Right.
for this year.
And honestly, and it's hard for me to judge because I only saw the last quarter of this football game in real time, so it's kind of hard for me to judge. But looking at the stat line, it looks like if they had a little more involvement from Najee, and I don't know what that entails necessarily, but
It's
that
the
run game,
offensive coordinator. Our offensive
that
coordinator.
running game looks like it wasn't there.
Well, it's not, but we don't give
that's
him a
the game
chance.
plan?
Like, yeah, it's the game plan.
Because Najee's the dude, man.
He is a dude, man, and we're going to give him whoever comes in next, because I'm telling you guys right now, Matt Canada will be fired this year. Regardless of what
be
happens,
Jason Garrett?
I will fucking commit suicide. Jason Garrett becomes the fucking offensive coordinator of Pittsburgh Steelers. You will never hear me on this fucking podcast again.
Jason Garrett?
Because I'm dead.
Lives are on the line. Do not hire Jason Garrett.
I will be dead. That's why.
I don't think we can lose one.
Hey,
the whole
I wish we could bring fucking Todd Haley back.
I don't have any personal opinion against Jason Garrett, but how does this guy keep getting jobs in the NFL?
Nobody
boy?
knows.
That dude's straight trash.
Nobody knows.
He was a head coach for how many years with the Cowboys?
Trash.
Trash.
There was at least 5 years that he should have been fired every year.
And then a casual but expected overwhelming victory for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers over the Giants on Monday, where the only really cool and two cool things happened. One, Mike Evans passed Mike Allstott as the all-time scorer for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers with 72 scores versus Allstott's 71.
We talked about that. When that man going to start getting some fucking respect on his name?
Respect on Mike Evans, boy.
My dude been a beast since the minute he's came in the league.
And the only other notable news story from that game that's not as expected is
that shit you was telling me.
New York Giants threw a touchdown pass to their left tackle. He now has more combined touchdown passes than their top two receivers.
Maybe it's you can't have shit in New York.
You cannot have shit if you were in New York sports. New York sports have been underwhelming for a long time at this point.
At least 2 decades.
At least, with the exception of
Nobody.
2007 Giants.
Ooh.
And they were underwhelming up until the playoffs.
Facts.
Yeah.
So
everybody's always going to hang
Mike
on.
Allstott.
What?
Yeah, I'm related.
what?
Yeah.
This guy's a legend.
What?
Yeah, I'm related to Mike Allstott.
How so?
He is
Break this down?
second
What the
cousin.
fuck?
You're not even that far off.
No.
Bro.
Can I meet him through you?
Did you
Probably
realize?
not.
Do you realize how much of a great Mike Allstott is?
Yeah.
It doesn't sound like it.
I would pay you for an autograph.
Like
He might be a third cousin.
on the verge.
Can you actually have you ever met him?
Actually,
no, he's never come. He's never.
this
come
is
to
a
the family
pretty good
reunion.
question too, though. Is Mike Allstott
doesn't
a
know-
Hall of Famer?
I think so.
Yeah.
He's the greatest fullback ever, ain't he?
Ever. In my opinion. Why is he not a
That
Hall
was
of
my
Famer?
thing. Is like if we
Are we sure
if
he's
we're-
not already in the Hall of Fame?
If we're talking about the
don't think
Hall,
so,
he's
no.
not. I know that he's not in. But
And I guess technically it is by marriage, but
if you're thinking
really-
though, like especially if you're looking at positions, like I've never known a fullback better than Mike Allstott.
Oh, so no. So he keeps hitting the list and getting nominated, and then other people like.
Well, he's got some
Yeah.
amazing people. on him.
Unfortunately for him, awesome people always hit the list, and he
Yeah.
was a fullback.
But he's the best fullback that I've ever
So
seen in my
good.
time.
Yeah,
I don't know a fullback better than Mike Allstott.
Mike
man.
Allstott should have made the Hall of Fame
And
before Terrell Owens. I'm just gonna say it.
Let's just be for real. He's not a fucking fullback.
He's a full running back.
He's a
dude.
full fucking running back, man.
Bro.
He just happened to be able to lay a linebacker on his ass too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And,
Like,
he could lead block as a motherfucker.
that's what I'm saying. He just happened to be able to.
He was the fridge that could lay
Ooh,
a fucking
that's
lead
a
block.
good one, for sure.
That ends my rant on the NFL shit, boy. I gotta take a leak, and we got a segment to move on to.
We
Yes,
do.
we do.
We
Yes, we
do.
do. So
We
any
were-
final thoughts about the NFL? Just any?
I wrapped my
Overarching.
shit up pretty perfectly, I think.
I think you did. That was pretty phenomenal.
But we have a very important segment.
You know what it is. It's the hole.
It's Matt's hole.
It's the hole.
Welcome to Matt's Hole, where Matt goes down a 3 a.m. rabbit hole of random information that literally no one cares about. And unlike Matt's actual hole, hopefully it won't stink.
But it does.
But it does. Matt.
What is up with some shit, boy?
Bro, we know your hole stinks. That's for sure.
This.
Hit us with that shit, boy.
You can't reach a washcloth back there, can you?
Not that fat.
Nah.
I
You
never-
can't reach back
But they didn't know
there,
you were
Matt.
fat till just now.
You fucked yourself.
just outed yourself,
You
dog.
just outed yourself. What the
We ain't
fuck?
doing video. They don't know.
They don't know.
I
You could
literally
be a
shout out to
sexy.
TikTok called Matt Canada Fan Man. Last
You could be a
episode,
sexy.
Oh, maybe they
mother-
knew it then. If they were paying
if
attention.
they were paying attention.
but they wasn't.
They weren't. I didn't get no hits on my Twitter.
Nah.
I actually got a couple follows somehow.
Did you?
Yeah, I got like 2.
That's what's up.
People
A couple.
I-
That's 2.
People, I don't know who these people are.
That's all right. We'll do
I
it
mean-
again. We'll see what happens. Maybe it's my turn next.
Maybe.
Maybe it's Rich's turn next.
Maybe it's Rich's
That's
turn
facts.
next. Y'all, how y'all feel about Colts?
Not normally a
I
fan.
hate Yeezy, and I will not be a part of that cult.
No, fortunately enough, this has nothing to do with Yeezy.
Just like religious.
It is a religious cult.
Of course it is.
Yep.
Of course it is.
Makes sense.
Fucking
It's
morons.
actually, we're talking about
Taliban.
we're talking about a Japanese doomsday cult.
What?
I'm interested.
So, the cult is...
Seppuku?
No, maybe? No.
Okay.
Possible
Possibly?
domestic terrorism.
Wow.
Let's talk about it.
Left
alright?
court.
So, the group is now known as Aleph. They used to be known as Am Shinriko.
What? Say that 3 times.
Tokyo
Real fast.
Drift?
Am Shinriko.
Say it again.
Am Shinriko.
One time.
Tentacle porn?
I like it.
All right.
Okay.
It literally translates into supreme truth.
Okay.
What was that word?
Supreme.
Oh, supreme. I thought you
thought
said
you said supreme.
I thought you said supreme too. I was like, what the
I'm
fuck
pretty sure
is
you
that?
said
boy?
supreme.
I did. I'm having a stroke.
I'm pretty sure you said supreme.
Well, we've been there twice.
We've been
this week.
there twice, so give us a second. We'll bring him back.
So it's
Supreme truth.
Okay.
Is a Japanese
They wear the
doomsday
supreme. They
cult-
wear the supreme shirts.
No, this was the 80s.
Oh, they're poor. Oh, they're old.
Oh, they're
They're old
and poor.
and poor. Broke.
Relatable.
Bitches. So, they are a Japanese doomsday cult and terrorist organization founded by Shoko Asahara in
thought you guys-
1987.
Oh,
Did
you
you say
say
Shang Tsung?
No, that is a Mortal Kombat character.
I don't know.
said Naruto Uzumaki.
Shoko Asahara
Yep.
in 1987.
So this cult still exists?
Technically, yes.
Technically, yes. Is it what it used to be? In any
Official-
capacity,
Officially, no.
but probably.
More than likely. So, they're classified
I like their
as
logo.
It is a
Classy.
Classy.
Yeah, they
They
should
were
put that on
classified
cups.
as a Buddhist new religious movement, even though the Japanese government did not like them.
Hey, quick caveat.
Yes.
Listeners, we're going to take this logo, we're going to make it into an NFT, and you're going to buy it. End caveat.
Done.
All right.
Can we do that?
Ethereum.
So,
Can we do that?
let's start with we probably should. I don't think we should take a terrorist organization and cult's logo and make it an NFT.
Are they,
That's
are
bad taste.
I
they
think people
terrorists to
would buy it.
us?
I think people would buy it.
We'll get to the terrorist part.
Okay, we'll make a decision at the end of
We'll
this
make a decision.
whole
If
I
I
wanna
could
start-
fucking buy an NFT of people
fucking.
on skis killing people, which was last Matt's hole, I'm good with this.
Every Matt's hole should be an NFT.
Lab it out.
We'll figure it out. We're going to lab it.
Lab it out.
We'll lab it.
So I want to start with how
Don't worry
this,
about that,
this, this
listeners.
cult was first founded. The movement was founded by Shoko Asahara in his one-bedroom apartment.
That sounds like the name of the guy that founded Pokemon.
It started off as a yoga and meditation class.
What?
However,
So Joe Rogan was in on this.
pretty much, yeah, I'm pretty
Okay.
sure. What ended up happening was Asahara became absolutely obsessed with
the pussy.
Buddhism
Oh.
and Christianity.
Those are different,
So he's
Very.
Catholic.
but also Buddhist.
He believed himself.
So what the fuck is that?
He believed himself to be the reincarnation of Jesus.
Oh, yeah, no, that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes
Yeah, of
total
course.
sense.
Sure. Totally sane person. I think.
For sure.
And he preached.
Someone's
this-
got to be.
I mean, the baby is back on his Jesus
back on
shit,
his baby
so
Jesus shit
Again.
again. Maybe this was the original time.
This is the dude.
original.
This is the original.
This is
They're
the
same
dude.
guy.
Reincarnated.
This is the
Reincarnated.
dude.
Okay, fair
Found
enough.
him.
Boom.
So this guy thought he was God Almighty.
God Almighty.
No,
and
no.
He believed that.
He was.
Oh yes,
There was
he
no
was
thinking.
on his baby Jesus shit.
But as far as we're concerned,
He was on his baby Jesus.
So in order to spread the,
did he magic his pants on, or was he like the rest of us?
I don't know.
I bet you I
He
could shoot him
sat.
in the
He's
face.
man's sat a lot.
A lot.
He was fat?
He's big.
Okay.
Quite large.
That's what I got from that.
So he
Yeah.
was fat.
He was a hefty lefty.
He was a hefty left.
I'll give you this. You know what? I'll pull up a picture of this guy. This dude
He
had,
might have been a righty.
This dude had a beard.
A beard, because that matters.
What the fuck?
He looks like Genghis Khan.
Doesn't he?
He was a reincarnation of Genghis Khan with a worse mustache.
I mean, That's Genghis Khan's like
There's him
second
sitting.
cousin or something.
Oh, he's skinnier than I am.
Oh, he's not that fat.
He's not that fat, but he do be sitting a lot.
He's probably like a single or a double X.
But why is he?
Maybe.
He looks like straight up a monk or some shit.
Well, it is a Buddhist movement.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
That makes sense.
A mixture of like Buddhism and Christianity.
So
but
he and Doctor Strange, same person.
pretty much, yeah. So he believed in, obviously the obvious stuff, enlightenment. He believed that his followers could start flying if they did the correct
What
yoga
the
poses.
fuck is that, bro?
So just launch my phone real quick.
Same person.
He starts doing some gang
He
shit.
does some gang signs. People start flying.
My God.
Pigs turn to bacon. It's all
I
good.
love bacon.
I
So
love bacon.
I would count the
under
calories.
his rule,
I thought you were gonna say robes.
that too.
Nuts.
A lot of Japanese government and police
Allergic.
officials would end up both dead or missing. I am allergic to nuts.
For sure. Not penis so much.
Not
but
penis,
nuts.
but nuts.
Crying, boy.
Oh shit!
So under his rule,
This is great.
This rule, a lot of people would end up dead.
Of course.
Police and government officials that didn't like him.
based off of him like putting out hits.
Pretty much, his followers would shoot them in public.
Right.
Okay,
Okay.
Okay,
Follow.
but the big thing,
they're gangster.
They are.
the big thing
Road to perdition.
that Om Shinriko would kind of be famous for, other than the fact that they had their own manga and anime.
That's crazy.
So
They had
they
their
had
entire
their
whole own media.
Own
Yep.
Naturo? Right.
In
What'd you say?
1995,
So they had their own Naturo?
What the hell is
in
Naturo?
1995, the group would commit a terrorist act.
Which was?
They used sarin gas on a subway.
Explain to me how
many people
sarin
died?
gas works.
It's a neurotoxin.
Oh, fuck you.
So how many people died?
I believe it was something like 87.
Damn.
That's jump change.
Let me find out.
I've got more dollars than they have people.
They're not terrorists at all.
I got more money in Bitcoin than that.
OBJ sent me more than that. This is bullshit.
You count fractional shares, I'm set up, boy.
14
Millionaire.
deaths, around 1,000 injured. Injured?
Injured?
They were injured?
They were injured.
Wow.
That's a verb.
I like it.
Injured.
There it is.
Injured is better.
Injury,
I prefer
a
injury.
lot better.
So 1,000 injured?
1,000 injured, yeah. 1,050. Including one of the attackers.
Get to the good shit. There's always good shit. in the
14
hall.
died?
14 died.
Fuck you, dude.
So what's the motive?
Simply because they wanted to...
That's how you enlighten people.
Yes, they were
You
trying-
fucking kill them.
They were,
That works. Sometimes.
for lack of a better term, infidels.
So they
I
are.
believe...
They were just the Japanese Taliban.
That's what Om Shinriko is, kind of. It's the Japanese Taliban.
That's actually,
Motherfuckers.
like, by definition, what they are.
Yes.
Did they not learn from the nukes? Motherfucker, we cooked like 20% of your people like in a microwave fucking oven, boy. Did you not learn not to do it to yourself?
Well, it's because of the nukes and the radiation from those nukes that we create
Oh,
weird
wait.
ass organizations like Om Shinriko.
My man said, did y'all not learn from the nukes?
I'm just saying, like, we caught you slipping once with some Pearl
Boy.
Harbor shit. We'll come at you again.
And they pulled a Nazi and used gas
They did use gas on themselves.
themselves in a subway.
Why?
fire.
Subway's for Jared, and Jared's for children, and
fire.
children.
I meant like a subway train. Not
Yeah,
the-
we were going
not
down
the-
a whole
not the
different rabbit hole.
restaurant.
I'm sorry.
Jared is all about Subway.
Jared is all about subway. That's a separate match.
Jared is all about
Is that
distributing
guy still
sandwiches.
around?
He's in prison.
I thought so.
He should
I
be.
heard that.
He should be.
I remember.
So
hearing-
DaBaby can't be the reincarnation of this guy, because that guy's still alive.
no, he's dead.
I thought you said he was in prison.
No, Jared from Subway. is-
Jared from
Oh,
Subway is in
yeah,
prison.
and as he should be.
Yeah, I
As he
believe.
should be.
I
Taking
believe-
his own
I
sandwiches.
think Shogun's
Day after day.
Taking his
Day
own
after day. Slowly slipping.
Put your ass
Slipping
right in jail.
away.
For what? You ate
Yeah, he died at-
398 Subway sandwiches.
So he died in.
I lost
I'm
weight.
gonna need you to.
I lost
to do
weight, and then
20
you
years in
looked at
prison.
children, Jared.
right.
You fucking
He was sent
piece
to-
of shit.
He was executed in 2018.
Jared was?
No.
Oh.
Damn!
I was like, boy.
So go outside.
My man's out here eating the wrong stuff, boy. They killed a whole motherfucker. Jesus.
God.
Wow. That's definitely
I mean-
fireplace penis.
If it wasn't in the USA, Jared would probably be too.
Yeah.
That's facts. I mean, that's fair.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say. Cult stuff.
Cult stuff. Holy shit, boy.
Should we be a part of a cult?
No.
We could create a cult.
Ooh, now that's interesting.
That's interesting.
God.
All right, Maxwell. That was
fun.
That was exactly what it was supposed to be. That's hope.
It was.
I mean, that's
We got deep, we got
What it
dirty, we
always
got
is.
stinky, and we got the
So-
fuck out.
Yes, we did.
it is. It's
Got
always
it.
stinky too.
Quick, easy, painless, but not so much.
That's not what she said.
Alrighty. I think it's time.
Credit Matt.
Yeah. I think it's time to make some money.
This is a journey into money. LODSOVEMONE. What's they spell?
What's on the agenda for today? What are we talking
Yeah, there it is. First and foremost, I fucking love that song.
Isn't that great?
First thing, let's load in
What's fire?
to how we making some money. This week, Matt.
Shit.
So I wanted to just kind of bring a couple of things to the table. As far as I didn't really want to get into like we did last week about telling people how to invest, that type of thing. So
Sure.
I kind of just wanted to bring to the table what's happening in the market. We'll talk about a little bit about what happened this week in the market. I'll always give my
Kind of your 2 cents.
yeah, my opinion of maybe what we should do to make some money, things like that. But I do know I'm excited that you guys definitely have some things to put in this week for the segment. So
Yep.
one thing I'll start off with. So I don't know how you guys feel about the electric vehicle, the whole space. You don't. There, Vitaly found vodka. Vitaly found vodka.
Lots of money.
Once he finds vodka, it's a whole different show. Hey, so like I said, so
like
one thing I
champagne,
was just want to talk about what's kind of happened in the market. I don't know how you guys feel about the EV. I think anybody who's in the market understands that Tesla is definitely the top of the EV game.
Obviously.
You know what I'm saying? So,
No doubt.
But one thing I want people to understand is, so I want to talk about Ford, right? So Ford is a company that is trying to go the same way, right? Obviously, like everybody is.
It's the future.
They
Gotta
put out
look-
That,
You gotta future-proof
electric
yourself.
Mustang.
They did,
I hate
but
the fuck out of it.
but
I
their
hate
their big
it's
thing
there.
is the Lightning, though.
The Lightning is the big
Ford Lightning is really what they're hanging their hat on.
They
so
and they
The
should.
Chevy-
That is a
the
way
Chevy
better product.
it's a badass truck.
It is
Flat
a-
out, it's a badass
Oh, so
truck.
it's not like the Chevy Bolt or the Chevy Volt.
No, the Volt is actually like a compact.
Yeah,
little
it's a
car.
compact.
The Lightning is a full like.
It's a full
it's
EV
a-
truck.
It's a full
Oh, shit.
EV.
It's an
truck.
F-150.
Yes, it's an
It's an electric
F-150.
It's a
Yes.
fully electric F-150
Okay,
Fully
I haven't seen it,
electric.
so-
with a frunk.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that.
I like
I
fronts.
don't. Do you? I've never had one.
It's
so I don't
extra
know.
storage space, and think about what you're lacking on a pickup in general. Anyway, you got all that open bed, but not a lot of closed storage space,
yeah,
unless you
that
add
makes
on like a
sense.
cover or a
That makes
topper.
sense.
Cover,
Yeah.
topper.
So having
That
that on a
makes-
truck is pretty nice.
That makes sense. That makes sense. So that's the thing that they're hanging. But the couple of just tidbits that I have for Ford is one thing. If you were a Ford investor, it sucked that they cut their dividend, right?
That does suck.
So Ford just reinstated the dividend, right? So I don't know the amount. I didn't get in. Like I said, I'll go do some research this week. Maybe I'll have a better information for you guys next week as far as the amount. But they reinstated the dividend, which was the first time since COVID. So the dividend is back for Ford. And they also crossed the $20 mark. Ford crossed across $20 for the first time in 20 years.
Really? No shit.
20 years. So about, I would say, a good 6 to 8 months ago, you could have bought Ford for about $6-8 a share. that would have been a great investment. So one thing is think about, like, for me, myself personally, first and foremost, I'll put it out there, I don't invest in Ford. I'm not a Ford investor. I used to be, but I stopped investing in them because they cut the dividend, right? Mm-hmm. So you guys will learn as we go through this show more and more. I am a dividend investor, right? Yeah. That's my go-to thing.
That's your guaranteed money in your pocket.
I'm a dividend investor, right? So I sold out of Ford when they cut their dividend. But I will say, looking at the technicals, the fundamentals, I will be back in Ford. I haven't found my price target, that type of thing, to get back in. Mm-hmm. But my biggest question, like, if I was asking you guys, as somebody who didn't know anything about Ford or whatever, like,
from a financial standpoint,
like, just to be simple, like, you think Ford is going anywhere in the next 20 years?
I think they're a fairly stable company.
Yeah,
they weathered COVID pretty well, and they were the only one that didn't take a government buyout. How many years ago?
Yeah.
I'd say that they're going to be fine.
Yeah, Ford has been around for such a long period of time, and Ford,
like, we understand who, like, made cars.
Cars. You have to understand that the original man, Ford himself, created the assembly line.
Exactly.
Like, historically speaking.
By the way, that is a fun fact. A lot of people think that Henry Ford created vehicles, which is not true. He created the assembly line.
He created
the assembly line.
The manufacturing of vehicles.
Right.
Yes, and it just so happened that one of them was called the Model T Ford.
Right.
Historically speaking, he is one of the biggest capitalists.
But that's what I'm
American
saying, though. Like, just to go back and think about that as a company, you know what I'm saying? I think, in my opinion, it's the same thing we can say 20 years from now about Elon Musk and Tesla, is to be able to say, like, dude, you honestly think, like, there's not going to be Fords on the road?
Right.
Like, until I don't see that shit, I will say I'm okay with investing. I feel like they're going to be around.
Right.
I'd argue to say that Ford will probably outlive all of us.
Probably so. I mean, probably so.
I'd say that's likely at this point.
Will they be a great company to invest in? That's a different thing, but I think you're right as far as that. Going off of that, let's go into the next thing I wanted to talk about. So, let's talk about being diversified in a portfolio, right? And what that means.
Now, why would you want to be diversified?
Diversify your bonds, as Dave Chappelle once said.
What that means as an investor, right? So, a simple way to put it, be diversified, right? So, what does that mean? Don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Right. Very simply.
Sure.
That's the simplest way to put it. So, if you want to be able to look at the market and say, tech is up big, financials are down, energy is up, right? So the point is, be diverse. Have a little bit of all of these things, right? Go find you an energy company that you really like, right? I'm not going to tell you what to invest in. I'm not a financial advisor. That's not what we do here, right? What we do is we just give you general information, right? So go find
we're a bunch of assholes in a basement.
An energy company that you like. Go find a financial company that you like. Go find a big technology company that you like. Right? And if you don't want to do any of that shit like we talked about before, then go buy an index fund.
Right. Yeah, we talked about that.
Go buy an index fund. Yeah. But an index fund is one way to be diversified without actually putting in the work to go find individual stocks, right, into your portfolio. Mm-hmm. So if you want to be diversified without doing any research, go do the index fund like we talked about.
Right.
But if you want to be diversified where you can get a little more return,
and you have more hands-on,
and you got more hands-on, then go, like I said, it's not that hard, man. Just go find. It's very easy. Take everything that is around you, right? You got an iPhone?
Apple.
80% of people have a fucking iPhone.
Yep.
Go invest in Apple, right? You're going to figure out how to go get the new fucking iPhone 14 that comes out. That bitch gonna cost you $1,300, but you won't go invest the same $1,300 into iPhone or into Apple and realize that those same $1,300 would get you close to 10 shares.
Right.
That if you let that shit sit for 6 months, the dividends will pay for the fucking phone that you want.
Right.
Right? But you can't.
The shares will appreciate in value more than a phone.
So it's not really just about the appreciation. It's about the dividends that they give you for holding the stock.
Sure.
Right? So when you add your dividends and you add the appreciation that should come in a 6-month span from Apple, because that shit, like, Apple just doesn't crash, right? Like, Apple is such a great company.
It will be around.
It's gonna go up over time.
Right.
Are you gonna have those pullbacks and shit? Yes,
for sure.
That's how the stock market works. But over a long term, Apple's going up.
When we live in a volatile news environment,
for sure,
and volatile news always adjusts the market.
Always. So that's a thing. You know what I mean? Very easy. Like, let me look at what's around me. Right? Like, I got a Samsung TV in front of me. I got a Sony TV. All the shit that's around you, go invest in that shit. You know what I mean? It's the stuff that you believe in anyway, because it's the stuff that you're using every day.
Right. Exactly.
Right? So go invest in that stuff. All right? So we talked last week about $100, right? So last week was all about if you had $100 to invest and you couldn't do anything else, right? You didn't want to have any kind of information, anything like that. You really just, if you could invest $100 a week, right? So I just wanted for a quick minute to show you guys. So $100 a month, right now over, and my phone's being retarded, but so I'll give you guys what I just have right here in front of me. So let's say you were able to start with, so here we go. Let me change this right here real quick. Give me just a second. I will update this. So I'm starting with $0, right? I'm going to go over a 20-year period. So we'll go over a 20-year period. What do you think, Connor? What's a good annual return we can give somebody without
return?
Yeah. Over the next 20 years without being just too crazy.
8%, 8.5%.
8%. So let's go 8%,
fair.
which is
Seems
pretty.
fair to me.
I mean, that's pretty.
I think I
you
might
know
be
what I
even
mean?
lowballing it a little bit.
Especially now
Yeah.
for where we at, but 8%, pretty decent. So, dude, if these kind of things don't like wake you guys the fuck up, I don't know what does. Starting with $0, 8% return a year over the next 20 years, right? So let me change this to 100. 20 years, 8% return, $100 a month, 20 years. Mind you not making any more contributions.
Right.
We're talking about investing into one fund, like
Straight $100.
I mean, $100 easy as you get. No, right? So do that. So you starting with $0. Your total contributions will be $24,000.
Okay.
Right. Over that time. So on interest alone, you're gonna make on about 42. Well, it's probably closer to 43,000. It's 42,899.91 cents. So your ending balance be around what? So 68,899.91 cents.
And that's from you
Right.
putting $100 a month away.
People would think, oh, 20 years, I'm only gonna have 70,000. Like, and I get all that, you know what I'm saying? But like, we're talking about $25
Right.
a week.
Right.
So let's talk a little bit about the new infrastructure bill. We don't have to get on that like too heavy. For
I ain't read up on it yet.
Neither have
who
I.
really
So we
don't
can hit the
know.
highlights.
So it got passed through the House.
Right.
So
it
it's
says
hitting the
Senate
Senate.
level now.
Headed to the Senate.
Okay.
So we know that it really doesn't pass until it gets to the Senate, right?
Yeah, that's how.
So the House is
checks and
great,
balances
whatever.
system works.
Senate kind of puts that fucking thing on their desk and starts literally Sharpie and shit, right?
Right.
They literally
That's what
just,
they do.
we don't like this, we don't like this, we got to
called
negotiate
filibustering,
this.
baby. There's a word for
Filibustering.
it.
Yep, that's right. So that's what's
feels
happening
racist.
right now. But
It
just
is not.
just as a heads up for anybody who's listening, start thinking about what would you invest in if we're talking about infrastructure. Like, right, you want to go into construction. You want to go into house building.
Right.
You want to go into anything that's building businesses going into America. And I'll give you guys names of ETFs, things like that you can go into. But you guys just start thinking about if you were building an entire country, what are some things that you would want to invest in, right?
Sure.
Wood, concrete, right? Like, these are simple things that we all as people know, like, let me figure out how to make money off how they're going to go build our entire country back.
So you're thinking, based off the infrastructure bill, can we think in the future, how is that going to impact the market? And where can you get in early to where you reach gains?
Right. So that, and then I think it's very relevant to start thinking, if you want to make money, like, you have to start paying attention to what the fuck is going on, man. Like, I used to think a long time ago, like, very simply, like, old people always sit around and just fucking watch the news and shit, right? Like, that's what old people do. Until I realized,
a lot of them do that.
They do.
A lot of them do that.
100%. But you know why?
I don't think a lot of them do what you're doing, but it's a good reason.
It affects their money, man.
It affects their money.
They watching that shit because that shit matters for them. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, fucking oil prices went up 2% today. Guess what? That affects my retirement income, right? That affects how much I can pull out. Or that shit shot up 8% today.
Right.
Boom. I just made an extra $20,000 this month, right? So I learned that, for one, you have to understand what's going on at all times. Understand, because that really just means money in your pocket. When you can understand what's going on and you can play to that, you can put money in your pocket.
Sure.
So we talked about an infrastructure bill. So I wanted to talk about coming up for the holiday season. So if you don't know about the stock market, so there is always a rally. It is literally 40 years. There is proof from the time we get into holiday season, which for us, I think, kind of comes after Halloween, right? We understand Halloween is like that cutoff of bullshit holidays for whatever reason. And then we go into the real holiday season.
It's for the kids.
Facts,
Because
right?
it's for the kids, and everyone's gearing up for whatever
From
it is, Hanukkah.
The big boy holidays.
Exactly.
From that holiday season,
to New
right?
Year's, all the
So
New Year's.
what I want to tell listeners is, man, if you can just figure out a way to sit on some cash for the holiday season, other than the money that you are spending for holiday gifts, figure out a way to sit on some cash, because the money you just spent on holiday gifts, I'm going to tell you how to make it back. Go spend whatever you want to do, right? However much you spend, I ain't telling nobody how much. Everybody's got different situations for families.
Absolutely.
Go, whatever it is you spend, right? But then figure out a way to go build a little fund for the holiday season of investing, right? And I'm not just saying this shit because I invest, even though I am a bad bitch. And I will prove that over this show. But here is the proof, right?
I actually licked my finger for that.
I have
Yes, you did.
numbers. So retail sales in the United States from 2002 to 2021, right? Only for the holiday season. So this actually counts from Thanksgiving, which is this coming up Thursday.
Right. So Black Friday forward.
From Black Friday to the first of the year. This is all this is counting, right? I would like for you guys to get in around the Halloween mark.
Okay.
Right? Okay. So this would put you about a month ahead of time. So I would say you could squeeze out another 5% return.
So the idea is jumping in on what, retails companies?
So absolutely.
Okay.
Right? So
that would make sense.
where do we all go shop,
Walmarts,
right?
your
Walmart,
TJXs.
TJ Maxx,
Targets.
Anybody, and especially now, I talked to you guys before, pandemic changed things as far as be cognizant of who has
Amazon
stock, right? Who has actual stock for you to go shop for Christmas, right? We can all go to Amazon. We all understand that, right?
Yes.
Amazon doesn't run out of stock. They just don't, right? They all have stock. But if you're talking about trying to support local type of businesses that in your whatever community you're in,
Box stores.
go fucking buy. And then the places that have stock, go invest in them. Go invest in them
'Cause they'll crush
because
the holidays.
when the earnings come out for the holiday season,
When do those
who
come
do you
out?
think will crush? So they usually come out right after holidays, meaning Christmas is over. They'll
New
usually
Year's
come.
ended.
Yes.
January,
January.
first week of
so
January.
I wouldn't say the first week. I say second week.
Okay.
So you're probably looking in that January
Matt's kicking the
8th
desk.
to January 15th range.
Okay.
You're going to have major retailers put their earnings out.
Right. You're talking potentially upwards of 20-30% increase.
Yeah, I think
Maybe
30's
more?
high.
30's
I think
high?
30's high. So, but for me, I would say if you can get into any of those retailers,
In
Target,
October.
Walmart, TJ Maxx, fucking Dillard's, any of those main retailers,
Right.
you're looking at a nice ass fit. And I'm talking about in just a 3-month type of holiday season.
Sure.
Your Dick's,
You're looking
your
at a
sports,
nice 15
right.
to 20% return.
Sure.
So, like I was saying, from 2002 to 2001, just from Thanksgiving on, and obviously you guys can't see this chart. I wish you could. So, in 2002, the actual and forecasted amount of holiday retail sales. So, in 2002, the holiday retail sales, now this always goes by the billions, so let that sink in, first and foremost. By the billions.
But with a B,
With
bitches.
a B. By the billions. So in 2002, between Thanksgiving and Christmas, the actual retail amount was around $400 billion mark. Okay? So y'all see, can you see that?
I mean, it's a little ridiculous.
You see that?
It's a little ridiculous.
Holy shit.
So
With B's, motherfuckers.
So from
Exponential
2002 to where we are right now in 2021 for just retail sales. Now we're not talking about we're this is only United States,
Right.
Not worldwide, any of that.
Right.
So we were at 400 million in 2002. This year it is forecasted we will be at $843.4 billion
So doubled in the B's from the start point.
in a 19-year period. Say 20 to keep it nice and round.
Right.
So you could almost say you double every 20 years, right?
Wild.
But if you look at the actual growth, like just year over
Yeah,
year,
it looks like it was impacted by the 2007-2008
financial crisis.
financial crisis.
Housing crisis,
So
yep.
that happened.
That aside,
But
it's all
looking
up.
at
It's
that,
all
even
up.
when you take the financial crisis, if you only look at those 3 months, that shit's compounding year over year
Right.
at about a 15% rate
Right.
in a 3-month period, guys. So that's what I'm saying. Go spend your Christmas money, and then say so I'll use $1,000 for example because that's a good number. I just spent $1,000 on Christmas. Now go grind and do whatever you got to do, and go get another $1,000 and go and invest it.
Right. So October, put $1,000 in your investments.
Yes.
In these investments.
Yes.
In
And
retail.
you can do it
And
one
pull
or
them
two
motherfuckers
ways.
after earns come
Exactly.
out.
That's what I was saying. You can do it one or two ways.
Get your money back.
So you can pull it out before earnings because that shit's gonna run.
Right.
Because it's earnings and we understand earnings are gonna be great, so it'll run. So you can pull out profit and go do your Christmas shopping
Oh, true.
with that money,
Sure.
or you can say I've already done it and now I just put the pocket or the money back into my pocket.
Right.
So my Christmas was free.
Sure.
Another thing, so piggybacking off of that, so be very careful of what you get into right now, right? Because at the end of January, as much as we talked about this retail thing, if you watch the market, so there's always the Thanksgiving, Christmas run,
And then
right?
skid.
And then as soon as that shit is done, the market will dip.
Right.
Right? This is just how it is.
Yeah.
It's going to dip.
People are
But-
recovering from spending all that money.
Exactly.
There's not nearly as much money being put
right?
into the system.
Exactly.
Right.
There's just not as much money being put into the market, and it's only because
You know,
people
are
spend money,
recovering,
right?
right,
And they
it's
don't
trans-
understand what we just talked about is how to get their money back,
Right.
right? Of what they just spent. So that's just a natural thing that happens in the market. But if us as very smart investors can go do what we just talked about, right? Make them gains, go spend our money, make them back, and then be ready for that January dip, all that happens is that just becomes a super buying opportunity for us, right? And then for the next 3 months, we just make even more gains, right? So be prepared for that. That's another thing. I don't want to make everybody think, like, oh, this guy told me to go buy for the retail season. I'm going to make so much money. Like, you will, but if you're not prepared for what comes right after,
pay attention.
You're going to be like, oh, this guy fucking sent me in for failure.
Yeah. Don't buy if you're not going to sell.
You have to be ready to take advantage. All right, so moving on, right? So another thing, so I don't know if you guys seen this. This is very much about how the future is coming into play.
Right.
You will be getting your medicine and shit in the future online, just like you do everything else.
Sure.
CVS decided to close about 900 stores over the next 3 years as it shifts to a digital strategy. If you guys don't think that's a big deal, that is a huge deal.
Let me throw another. Let me piggyback off that. Another huge deal.
Yeah.
So for those of the, I don't know how many folks out there listening know or interact with people that are in the military or anything like that. Military personnel have what is called TRICARE for their medical insurance.
Yep.
And as of recently, I've been made aware, TRICARE is no longer being accepted for payment for prescriptions at Walmarts.
Wow.
And TRICARE is mostly moving onto their e-prescription service as well.
Wow.
Just to piggyback off that entire
and if
idea.
that don't tell you guys something, that the fucking U.S. government is
so things are changing
going
for
to
sure.
e-medicine for soldiers. And if you guys don't know, Connor is an active soldier in the National Guard, right? So he has information that we can't get from anywhere else.
I got a letter in the mail.
He can exactly.
They emailed me.
I didn't get a letter in the mail.
Right.
Yeah, I don't get
So
that. I don't get that
he
kind of
has information
progress.
that we can't get from other sources. We at least have somebody that can tell us directly, like, "Hey, man, here's what's really going on." Because I got a letter in the mail.
I got a letter in the mail. TRICARE said, "Hey, watch out! Walmart ain't gonna cover your shit
But
anymore."
I think my biggest thing is about that healthcare is be prepared, right? So healthcare game is changing. It's going to e-digital. I don't know if you guys know, Amazon opened a brand new pharmacy.
That's huge.
Online.
They had a major partner
So,
with that too. I can't remember who it was.
I don't, but they did.
They had a major partner.
Johnson & Johnson?
I can't remember.
Wait,
I don't want to put that out
Amazon?
there. I don't want to put that out there.
I'm gonna Google
because I don't
it
know
quick.
for sure.
You keep talking.
But they had a major partner. So Johnson & Johnson has now Amazon has a Amazon pharmacy.
Pfizer.
Maybe Pfizer. I don't know.
I want to say it's Pfizer.
But either way, the biggest player in this is Amazon.
Sure.
Right?
Obviously.
So, but the thing
It
is,
seems to be a reoccurring thing when it comes to
be
Amazon.
prepared, right? Like, the game is changing. And CVS is a fucking phenomenal company. First and foremost, if you want to invest in somebody, they're a great company. But it's changing. Everything is going to the internet. Like, if your business is not online, your business is dying. I think that's in my opinion, like, I don't know how you can have a business and not
if you don't
be
have an online aspect
these
to
days.
it.
At least something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like the brick and mortar business is still very much alive and well. But
It
there
is,
has to
but
be-
it's dying. I'll give it that. It is dying.
Unfortunately.
But you have to have something where people can come and, you know what I'm saying, at least be able, like, even in my small business, I don't have brick and mortar and I don't have a great online presence, but I have enough Facebook, right? Like, I have a Facebook page.
Sure.
We have shit like that where people can at least go and be like, let me type the name in and go get some information. Because I feel like nowadays, if you don't have that, like, all your credibility is gone.
Yeah.
Like, people won't even fuck with you at all. Like, oh, you don't even have an online? Yeah, I ain't fucking with you.
Yeah.
Like, oh, all your shit's fake, or, you know what I'm saying? Whatever the case may be.
The future is now, old man.
It is. So,
sorry.
go ahead.
So Amazon acquired a digital pharmacy company by the name of PillPack for $750 million.
Chump change.
PillPack was, not the biggest company in the world, but it showed Amazon's intent to break up the big three in online prescriptions, which is Optum Rx, CVS Caremark, and Express Scripts. Express Scripts being probably the biggest of those three.
Yeah.
But CVS looking like they're going to make a push also. So that's that.
Facts.
Amazon's in it. So.
Facts.
PillPack. So they have all of the distribution. They have everything in line with that partnership.
Fascinating.
Fire. So, moving on. So, I don't know if any of you guys are into Nike as much as I am. It's one of the biggest companies in the world.
Huge company.
I'm pretty sure everybody listening to us has at least one thing in their household that is Nike. I can almost...
Pretty fair.
Right? That's pretty fair. So
even if it's by association.
I have something Nike.
Nike is a great company. I invest in Nike myself, just as a disclaimer. So just wanted to put it out there. So they declared a quarterly dividend, 30 cent 0.305 per share, which was actually a raise for the Nike dividend of about 9%, which was, I think I was at work with with Matt when I celebrated and was like,
yep.
Boom! I just got a raise, right? So, you guys have to understand that, man. Like, dividend growth is huge, man. You know what I mean? I literally got a raise when they raised their dividend for doing nothing other than holding their stock. And this is why you have to find great dividend growth companies to beat inflation to raise your wealth, right?
Yep.
It's not as hard as it seems, guys. It's not. Right now, inflation is crazy, and it's harder right now than it has been. Right. But even right now, inflation is about, 6%, I think? Maybe even 6.2 was the last I seen it.
I think it was like 6.25.
6.2, and it's always going up, right? Like right now, it's always going up.
Yeah, we're expecting all-time highs.
And that shit is tough. I'm not saying it's not, but that's the thing about finding good companies and shit to invest in is you can go put your money in there, and your boss will tell you like, "Oh, I'm sorry, right? I can't meet an inflation type of raise this year. I'm gonna give you 3%,
right. And
inflation is 6%." But you know that you're holding 8 companies in your portfolio that's getting ready to raise that dividend, right? So your raise is actually going to be, 10, 12, 13, 14, depending on what the fuck they raise the dividend. You Gucci. Right. You know what I'm saying? You Gucci. But if you don't do that, guys, if you don't do that, you get a pay cut every fucking year. Even though you get a pay raise. You think that you're getting a pay raise, but it's really a pay cut. So we talked about that last week too. I'm not going to get into that too much. So one thing I just want everybody to know is, like I said, I'm not going to dig into what you should be doing, what you shouldn't be doing. I would like for you guys to really get involved, and you guys are shopping for Christmas. Go invest into some of the companies that you're spending all that money.
Right.
And then another thing is like, just start investing. Yep. Like, you guys have to start. Like, it doesn't really matter where it is. You got to start, man.
Or how much you can
Or how much it is, but you have to start. If you don't start...
We are creatures of habit. You got to build the habit if you want to find success.
Man. Got to. That's a valid-ass point. It
puts a lot of things into perspective.
We'll move on from loads of money. I want to make one last point. So, the guy who put me on investing told me... So, this is how he bought me into investing. So, he said, I know you're a money spending guy, right? You like spending money. And I do. I'm not saying I don't.
Who doesn't?
I do.
Who doesn't?
Everyone wants money so they can spend it.
Exactly.
It's that instant gratification thing.
So he told me, he was like, bro, I'm not going to tell you not to, like, that's what you do, right? He said, but what I will tell you is change your mindset. So I'll use Jordans for an example. I'm a Jordan bitch. I love Jays.
Sneakerhead.
I love them, dog. If I took y'all upstairs right now, y'all be like, God damn. Like, I got like 60 pair of J's in my closet.
Sure. Congrats.
But the thing was, so he told me, he was like, bro, every time you want a pair of J's, you have to buy the same amount of stock in Nike. So now every J that I wanted
And then you let the dividend buy the shoes.
cost me, if I wanted a $200 J, that was a $400 J for me. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So if I was willing to make the commitment for
I like that.
$400,
I like that.
then his thing was, dude, then fucking do it. Go buy the J's, go invest $200 and move on.
Yep,
If you
I
got
like
it to do it, do it. Right?
like it.
So for me, now I'm like that with all of my purchases.
Okay.
So, but only with
You get
things.
some McDonald's for the fam, it's $100 meal.
So it depends. That's what I'm saying. So for me, I specify. You know what I'm saying? When
Some things make sense.
do I do that? You know what I'm saying? So for me personally, is with Jordans,
Right.
and it's with any clothes purchases I make, because those are wants.
The things you need to do.
They're not needs, right?
Things you
For me,
have
I
to sell
have
to yourself.
everything I need. Like, dude, I got a shirt. I got a pair of pants. Like, I don't actually need anything but one pair of anything.
Sure.
Right? I could wear that shit every day if I needed to.
Right.
So for me, that's the two things that I do it with, right? So anytime I want to buy a pair of Jordans, I can't unless I have twice the amount of money.
Right.
So when I buy shit at work and shit, y'all see me buying shit at work, I've already invested the money that I'm spending at work before I buy it.
Into Nike or into those companies, or
And so it depends.
because
For me,
where
it
we work,
always
it's a lot of exclusives to
So,
invest in that company.
Where we work, I don't invest in the company that we work for.
Okay.
Right? Now, me and you talked about, I had just looked into, like, they're on the verge for me of investing.
Sure.
But I'm not in there personally.
Right.
So for me, it kind of depends. So if I go, let's say I go to where we work and I spend $200, but I'm not invested in them.
You spend that
then-
$200 on Nike.
No, well, $200 into whatever investment I want.
Oh, that's fair.
Does that make sense?
It's
Like,
kind of like that Jay-Z quote, like,
if you can't buy it twice, you can't
buy
afford
it
it.
twice, you can't afford it.
And his thing was just, if you can't buy for it twice in cash, you
Yeah.
can't afford it.
Obviously,
Right?
it's like
For me, like
Which
I
is
said,
its own whole set of
I changed
financial
it.
advice.
You know what I'm saying? Like, to just, if I can't afford to invest first and then go buy it, then I don't have the money for it.
I like that.
I like
You know what I'm saying?
That's something
And
new I'm going to take.
That shit has changed my life.
So for those
Period.
listeners that don't know, a lot of Matt and I are kind of in the same boat. A lot of you are. Probably haven't kicked off the investing game. Rich has been in it a little longer. Rich isn't even like a super vet at it, but it's that mindset. It's getting into it. It's doing it. And a lot of this is new information for us too.
exactly. Like, we're learning along with you.
Right. So that's something I'm definitely going to throw in my pocket. I'm going to take that home. I'm going to talk to the wife about it, see if she gets on board. I don't see a reason why she wouldn't,
But
but
it's a game changer.
it sounds like,
Like,
it really
it's
changes
a
the whole mentality.
Fucking game changer, bro.
I like that.
Like, it's a game changer, man. Like, I can't tell y'all how many times.
But if you guys are
like,
buying stuff from me, don't worry about that. Just buy it first.
how many times we do things, you know what I'm saying? And by the time we go do it and come back, I can look at the market and be like, oh, hey, we just made all the money back
Right.
that we spent because we invested first.
Right. Sure.
Right? Sure. So for me, that's my last thoughts.
Did you have anything to add today?
I know you guys had a couple things about loads of money. You want to throw it in there real quick?
anything.
All right. So,
Moving on.
that has been loads of money.
Loads of money.
Loads of money. I think we can make loads of money.
I
But
think we could make
you know
loads of
what?
money.
Thanksgiving's coming up.
Ooh, my favorite holiday of the year, by the way.
My favorite holiday of the year.
Is it all of our favorite
Yes.
holidays?
Is my favorite holiday.
That literally just happened organically. None of us knew
None
that.
of us knew that.
None of us knew that. That is my fucking favorite
I
holiday.
love Thanksgiving.
fucking love it, dude.
Yeah, I'm a
Way
little
better than
fat.
Christmas.
Way better.
So
And better than Halloween. I said what I said.
That's okay.
that's
But
not even.
How can it be
remotely
your
close.
favorite? You don't agree.
I love Halloween. I think they're equal to me.
You said it
Is
was
it your favorite?
It is
or
my
is it
favorite.
fucking not?
It is my favorite.
Well, then
but-
shut the fuck up about Halloween.
You gotta agree with us, man. That's by default. It happened organically.
All right, fine, fine.
Never mind.
His kids are sleeping, dude.
He's
I gotta yell.
not an organic type
You know
of
what?
guy.
That was
Fuck
correct.
this guy.
I'm very sorry about that.
So the great debate.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for the great debate.
The debate this week, guys. It's
a good thing though.
Is it going to be a debate?
Nowhere near as drunk as I have been.
We're doing good.
In other episodes.
Yeah, we're doing the other episode.
Yeah, you know why? Because I have no music. Trash.
You cut your music off. When did
that
happen?
Really? Because you fuckers. Can you turn the music down? Can you turn the music down?
Well, you blame the music all episode.
It's been playing like the entire
Did your Spotify just quit when you were in loads of money looking up shit?
It did.
Okay. I don't need playing for that shit.
Fucking Vitaly, I hate this guy.
So I don't know if this is going to be as much a debate. It could end up being a debate, but what you're going to talk about might just be great conversation.
No.
The best side
Make it a debate.
Okay, it's a debate. What's the best fucking side dish for Thanksgiving? What do you have that makes your turkey, your ham, way the fuck better?
What the fuck is your dish that we don't have?
Speaking of, shout out Matt Judon.
Trash.
That guy came out.
How the fuck you don't like mac and cheese?
He said mac and cheese is trash.
How dare he?
Regardless of whatever you think,
though,
mac and cheese is not trash.
Connor,
mac and cheese
can you at least take some credit? Because I was super impressed. My man Connor went and got mac and cheese on his lunch break.
It's for the culture.
And was like, bro, this is for the culture. Fuck Judon. He's a bitch. I love my Patriots.
I love the Patriots. I love what Judon's doing on the field. He says some outlandish shit, and I hope his family holds him accountable for that. That's all I'm saying.
Grandma called him.
You know his grandma cooks a mean mac and cheese.
Bro.
Exactly.
That's facts.
Grandma's always be cooking good mac
Them
and
fighting
cheese.
words. Actually, I don't know if I still
So,
have the
who's going first? Who's going first? Best Thanksgiving
That's a good question.
side dish. We already know Connor's going mac and cheese.
Mac and cheese!
Or he wouldn't have called Matt Judon out ready to fight.
Well, Rich, what's yours?
I mean, I think he whooped me up pretty quick and easy, but
Dude, I'm going to have to go super traditional.
Sure.
I'm a traditional guy. I'm going straight stuffing.
how's your family feel about that?
They hate it.
They hate it?
They hate it.
And so do I.
If it was up to my family, we would have no stuffing.
Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah, that's
It's
trash.
weird to me.
How the fuck you gonna have Thanksgiving
Without stuffing.
with no stuffing?
I mean, sometimes we have stuffing just for the culture, but ain't nobody touch it.
It's like peanut butter but no jelly.
Nah, that's trash. I'm eating the hell out of
no
stuffing.
sugar?
You like stuffing, Matt?
I love stuffing.
Is it your favorite?
Gotta have stuffing, bro.
What's your favorite, Matt?
Favorite.
Green Bay casserole. I'm white.
That's fact.
That's fact.
That's gotta be the whitest
that
side
what?
dish.
Yeah, but you can't go wrong with French
Whoever
onions,
has-
cheese, and green beans.
Oh, you
If-
can in my book.
I feel like we should get
What
like
is the difference between yours
Three,
and mine
four-
than just noodles and green beans?
5
Literally
people
the same thing.
I hate French onions. Let's start
that
there.
should just come
It's
in and
just
be
fried
like,
onions.
I do not like them, Sam. I am. I do not like those French onions there.
said I am.
Listen, alright?
Nobody fucks with
You
green
and I
bean
almost
casserole.
have- you and I almost
You're
have the
fucking
exact-
Italian.
And you like bread.
Tell me green beans are better
I love
than
bread.
noodles.
Bread is
Has
good.
nothing to fucking do with green bean casserole.
But it has everything to do with stuffing.
Tell me green beans
But
are
I
better
already
than
picked
noodles.
stuffing as the greatest
Exactly.
shit. You
Stuffing
pick green
is-
bean casserole.
Stuffing is just bread. How is that special?
That's not true, because I like bread and stuffing's gross.
Are we talking about what
Which
my
brings
favorite
up-
dish
brings
is?
up another
Or are
issue.
we talking about your favorite trash ass dish?
Did we not say this was supposed
First
to be
off,
a debate?
Judon's here to debate, not
But
here
your
debating me.
debate is
That
not
green bean-
stuffing. My
Exactly.
debate was stuffing. Your debate is green fucking bean casserole.
Exactly.
That's trash.
A debate involves
Mac and cheese
me
is
saying
superior.
that yours is not correct.
No, but you agreed with mine.
I said it's good.
No, you agreed that fucking stuffing was like the best.
It's good.
And then you proceeded to throw that green
Hey, I
bean
have
bullshit
an
out
idea.
there.
Casserole's the shit.
I have an idea. So if we all agree that we think our thing is a 10 out of 10, what do you think mac and cheese is out of 10?
I'm gonna give it an 8.
What do you think his thing is out
I'm
of
gonna
10?
give it a 2.
What do you think mac and cheese is out of 10?
I don't really eat mac and cheese at Thanksgiving.
Well, then give it a number.
I give it a 4.
Perfect.
What do you think his thing is out of 10?
I give it a 7.
Okay. So total, he's at 17. I'm at, what'd you give it, an 8?
Yeah.
4,
Mac
12.
and
I'm
cheese
at
are
22. And you're at fucking -7, I think.
That's not all
So get fucked. Green bean casserole's out.
Casserole is fucking
Out. It's out.
Green bean casserole is shit.
Green bean casserole, trash.
Can we at least agree? Can we at least agree
I'll hear you out. You gotta say it once though.
that the worst side dish is
That's called
cranberry sauce?
that's called deflecting. And I don't have a problem with the cranberry sauce.
Well, then you're incorrect.
I don't have a problem with cranberry. You have a problem with cranberry sauce
do.
being on the table?
I do.
Like why?
It's not good.
Just don't eat it.
Whoa.
Couldn't you say the same thing about green bean casserole? Why is this a problem?
Oh, that's trash.
Yeah, that's straight trash.
So cranberry. He's saying, can we agree the worst item is is a cranberry sauce?
I can probably agree with that.
You think?
Yeah, I'm not a cranberry guy.
There's got to be some items on the table that are like way more
But
traditional that
that's what I'm
don't
saying,
belong
like,
on the table.
You gotta have it on the table though.
It's got to be on the table.
Sure.
I'm
That's
gonna
what
eat
I'm
it.
It's important for the culture.
But that's what I'm saying though. Like green bean casserole is not part of the
Like
fucking
I'm not.
culture.
I'm not going.
Yes, it is.
Bullshit.
No, fuck
Maybe
that.
amongst
Fuck
white ass people.
Fuck
green
that.
bean
I'm
culture.
pretty white. I don't eat that shit. Here's the thing.
You
Are
also
you
don't
fucking
eat
kidding?
stuffing.
So if we literally
That's true.
took a
But
fucking
I can
poll
recognize stuffing as a
of-
traditional thing.
Is there more Thanksgiving side dishes of fucking green bean casserole or mac and cheese? Where the fuck do you think you would
It depends where you do the poll, man.
do it anywhere?
If
If you do it in Utah?
it's gonna be green bean casserole. If you do it in Utah, it's gonna be green bean casserole. It's gonna be way more popular. Let's be honest. Let's keep it 100.
I think
Do it in
you could
Chicago. Do it in
the-
Chicago. Way more population.
You could take the entire country.
Mac and
There's
cheese.
No way
Let's
green
Google
bean.
it. Let's do it. Let's see if there's a survey online.
Please do. Matt's about to get his
But
whole
what I know.
film.
So here's the
started.
thing with cranberry sauce is, though I'm not going back for seconds, I'm gonna have a little for the culture. Green bean casserole. I don't need it on the
used
table.
to with the cranberry sauce, but I say I myself have gotten to the point where I'm like, yeah, I don't like that shit. So
I would
I'm not
almost
fucking doing
rather.
it.
I'd almost rather just have green beans than green bean casserole.
So let me just put this out there. I've never had green bean casserole. I don't know what the fuck it is. I don't fuck with green beans. Period. So
Statement made. Everyone else has tried everything. At least green bean casserole out by
that's
default.
what I'm saying. I can't even like speak to that because I've never tried it. But I am positive
It's green
it's
beans, cheese, and
trash.
French onions.
And that sounds completely trash.
How?
Because it's green beans, cheese, and fucking French onions.
It's not even like real green beans. It's French cut green beans. It's like little green bean pasta looking head ass.
No.
But it ain't pasta.
It's not pasta.
And the cheese ain't what goes in mac and cheese.
Yes, it is.
Nope.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Velveeta ass.
You could do Velveeta or you
So-
could do cheddar and shit.
It ain't the same.
You're gun ho that green bean casserole is your favorite
bean
Thanksgiving?
casserole?
You cannot convince me that green beans are better than noodles.
I'm gonna go with
Okay, by
stuffing,
themselves. No.
Period.
mac and cheese.
Yeah, but who eats pasta by when you take
Listen,
the two
though.
by themselves? Green beans and pasta. What's better?
Let's
By
pick
themselves. Nothing.
pasta.
Agreed.
Pasta.
I would agree.
Add cheese.
Add
Pasta.
French
Pasta.
onions, green bean casserole.
That's retarded.
Especially since I don't have mac and cheese. At
You should see the look I'm giving Matt right now.
doesn't make
I think he
no
might.
sense.
I think he might be the diversity hire.
if we piggyback off the great, this could be the time where people get fired. What is the best dessert? Thanksgiving. Either one of you motherfuckers say sweet potato pie, I'm kicking you right the fuck out the
I was
house.
gonna say it is a pie.
I'm gonna kicking you right the fuck out the house.
Sweet potato pie.
You saying?
I'm a pecan guy, but I am from Alabama. To be fair,
So I'm just not a pecan guy in general.
See, I can't eat pecans.
I can appreciate.
well,
I can
that's
appreciate
facts, so.
pecan pie for
I'm a
what it
pecan
is.
I
guy.
think pecan
I'm from
pie-
down south, so I
think
gotta have it.
pecan
I
pie
would
is important
divorce.
to the culture.
Ask my wife; she'll tell you.
My
Not a
family.
pecan pie for me on the table at Thanksgiving. Divorced.
My family loves pecans, I'm sorry, pecan pie. I don't necessarily fuck with pecans in general. I will not discount pecan pie.
Fire.
I love
Where
me
you
an
at?
I love me an apple pie, bro.
See, I'm
See,
apple,
so that's
I'm
super
apple pie.
traditional. You can't be hating.
I
on
love
it.
me an all-American
And that's
favorite.
a good segue to your boy Mac Jones.
Yeah, speaking of Mac Jones,
Faggot.
Cutting that.
Cut that out.
speaking of Mac Jones, that boy says he hates apple pie, and Matt Judon
What?
says he hates Mac.
Boy.
That's un-American.
How does their
mine.
team work?
I don't know.
Judon hates Mac, and Mac hates apple
I know. I see.
And they're on the Patriots. They're supposed to be American.
A
That is
thing
the most
on
un-American shit I've
on
ever
Twitter that
I'm
said,
disappointed to say the least.
Mac Jones hates apple pie. Matthew Judon hates
Mac
mac,
and
and cheese. Patriots are coming unglued.
Yeah.
They're coming unglued. I retweeted that.
I think that's where I seen it.
I'm
actually.
nervous.
Yeah,
Follow
I'm
me
pretty
on Twitter.
sure.
It's not that fucking hard, and I tweet relevant shit.
I'm pretty sure that's where I seen it.
It's
I was
all
like,
retweets. You don't have to worry about
that shit
trash
is
ass.
relevant.
Opinions and shit.
as
You don't have to
fuck.
worry about me putting out some trash because it's all retweets.
Facts. I will put out some trash. Every now and then.
If it's worth quality content, I'll put some shit out. But I don't ever, so it's retweets.
Yeah, I was about to say I never put out trash. Mine are all hits.
Okay.
Yeah,
So if we can't agree on a side,
Okay. We can't. Well, we're
Turkey or
not supposed.
ham?
We're not supposed
no,
to
I
agree.
get that.
We're
Turkey
not
or
supposed
ham?
to agree on a side.
We can. If we have 3 different sides, we'll never agree.
Bro,
Turkey or ham?
you already know where I'm at. It's ham for me.
We know turkey's the traditional, right?
It's ham for
Turkey
me.
is traditional.
I'm going ham.
It's ham for me.
I'm a turkey guy.
Ham is the superior
So
food.
all that my family does now, fuck
Ham.
a turkey. Straight a little breast. A little turkey breast.
And a ham?
ham for days.
Ham.
Ham
See, I like a good. Don't get me wrong. I like a good ham.
You have to have some turkey because of the tradition.
for the culture.
You got to do it.
See, I think
And it's not that turkey's bad. It's just that ham's better.
It is. I agree with that. It's not that turkey's bad.
You have turkey on Christmas?
It's just ham.
Or
Better.
do you have turkey on Christmas?
turkey on Christmas. No, I have fondue on Christmas.
Oh, that's right. You do your own
does have
thing.
that different-
I was going to say, I think everyone I know has a ham on Christmas.
Yeah.
It's because
Ham
ham's
is
better.
worse. Ham is
Ham
just
is.
better.
I'm not
man.
gonna say ham is not good. I love a good ham, but I always have both.
Okay, so think about this.
You always have so you
So-
spoiled.
Yeah.
Let's
That's
put
fair.
this into perspective, though. Let's just say, so which one, like, it's not Thanksgiving,
Yeah.
right?
Random
Yeah.
Tuesday afternoon. What do you prefer?
Turkey or ham?
Okay. Well, that's not fair.
That
is
is fair.
Let me.
The only reason turkey
Hold on.
gets its clout is because
No,
it's
no, no.
traditional on
Hold on.
Thanksgiving.
Exactly.
Let me follow this up. Is it like just deli meat I'm putting on a sandwich?
And it does great for calorie count. I will give it that.
Is it
Turkey's
just
great.
deli meat I'm putting on a sandwich, or is it something?
Turkey's fantastic deli meat style.
This is true. Or is it something I'm roasting and having with mashed potatoes?
You got leftovers from Thanksgiving. 'Cause you got both, right?
That's tough.
You got leftovers. You're 2 weeks out from
That's
Christmas.
tough.
What do you eat?
That's tough.
I'm always eating. Listen. here's
That's
what
tough because remember I told you, like, for us, like,
I'm usually eating
turkey's
turkey.
leftover might be better.
Oh, that's right.
This is true.
The turkey leftover, I'm
You're
gonna
right.
argue is
My
better.
go-to.
I'm going for the ham
Listen.
still.
But
Me
like,
personally,
I like
me
ham,
personally, going
and
for
I'll
the
put it
ham.
on some sandwiches, but my go-to has always been to take the leftover King Hawaiian rolls, a
Ooh.
little bit of gravy, a little bit of mashed
Boy.
potatoes.
Bro, I
That's
love
fire.
I love King's Hawaiian.
Oh,
Holy horse
holy
shit.
shit.
Holy horse shit, man. We can't get the words out. I love Hawaiian rolls because they are what you bring when you can't cook shit.
Exactly.
And they're always a win.
and they're
They're
always
great.
fucking
They're so good.
hit.
so good, bro.
Always
You can put anything on Hawaiian
That's what
rolls
I'm
and they're
saying.
good.
Anything.
Turkey,
The
you put
cranberry
mashed
sauce?
potatoes,
I'm pretty
you
sure I put a
little
piece
bit
of ass
gravy.
on there one time.
And some
Why?
cranberry sauce?
No,
Say it, Matt.
no.
You,
Say it.
I don't eat the
Whore.
cranberry sauce.
Nah, I
I'm
don't.
sorry.
I can't do it.
God damn it.
Can't do it.
We don't
Even
eat the
a
same
little
food
piece,
at
I can't
all.
do it. Can't do it.
I made prime rib for Thanksgiving last year.
Yeah, that's good.
We do that for Christmas sometimes.
Fire.
It's
Okay,
way
fuck
better
with
for
prime
Christmas.
rib, bro.
See, we had ham. So we had a.
You
we
like
had a-
prime
Too much
rib?
fat on it for me, man.
Ooh, melts.
See, we
Like,
had like
everybody
a really
says that,
big
but I don't
party
like
though,
that.
so it was ham, turkey,
I'm a
and
strip
prime
guy.
rib.
Give me a New York strip.
New York strip's fire.
I do.
I'm a ribeye guy all day,
But,
but
I mean,
I-
rib.
I- see,
so
I'm with you on the ribeye.
yeah, because you like cheesesteaks. Shut up. For me,
what's the argument for
strip-
me?
Yeah.
Cheesesteaks aren't my jam.
Yeah, true that.
That's more. And that's more Matty Canada.
That is more cannonballs.
That's true.
He does eat $35 cheesesteaks.
Okay.
Man, I'm so glad we're not talking to him today. What a dick.
Thank God.
Big Christ.
Cocksucker.
Jesus. So, great debate. Done.
Yeah,
We
mac and cheese is
understand
superior.
that stuffing is the best side dish. So,
Low-key, high-key disagree.
low key, I
Disagree.
You know what else? You can do more with mac and cheese after the fact. Throw a little buffalo sauce, a little chicken in it. Fuck you.
I
It's
can actually
better.
agree with that. You can do different shit with mac and cheese.
You could.
That's a
It is
fucking
versatile.
relevant.
It is
Suck a
versatile.
dick,
That
Green
is
Bean
a
casserole.
relevant point. Fucking suck a dick, green bean
I've just
casserole.
accepted the fact that my opinion is already controversial.
There you go.
coming into these debates.
Yep.
Who's the best lyric? Who's
No.
the best storyteller? Kendrick Lamar. No, he's not.
We're gonna have a debate one day that we all think is controversial, and we're gonna say the same shit. Oh, that was a great debate. We all agree.
All right, so let's talk about. We talked about main focus. Obviously, we always talk about NFL. So let's just go into a little bit.
We gotta hit the catch-all, boy.
That's what I'm saying.
Hit the catch-all.
What are we talking about other than not the NFL?
We like the
what I'm saying?
NFL,
What's-
but there's more than just the NFL.
What's
the
that big
NFL.
shit to talk about?
I mean, we got the what was it? The Porter Crawford fight.
That's big, man.
That's a good lead. That's
That's
a
a
good
big fight.
lead.
Because what was the argument? There was talks about Canelo, right, going
Yep.
into this.
Yep.
Who does he? Who? What? You know, we talked about that last week. Where does he go? Obviously, he's made his decision to move up in
He's
weight.
moving up in weight. And
To
going
205?
205.
Right.
Yeah, cruiserweight. For a big fight, which, so Porter Crawford kind of came out of the conversation for the time being.
Sure.
Very interesting fight, though.
Well, that was my first question. Like, do y'all even think that was was that a good fight or?
Man, I thought it was
fight.
I thought it was entertaining.
It's entertaining.
You don't have to
It
watch
wasn't-
12 rounds, which is always nice. I think that's refreshing.
Yep.
What was it? 3-4 rounds? It was not a long fight.
Nah, it wasn't too long.
It was
so,
short.
like we talked about before, man, Porter was fighting a fucking perfect fight.
Porter looked so good.
He really was
out there.
But
He was the
one
aggressor
thing
in
that,
the
last round.
I think
Crawford's-
Bud just showed, dude, here's a guy who is doing everything perfectly,
Right.
and all it took was for me to just kind of weed him out and see where I
Honestly,
can attack. And man, Bud looks like that dude, bro. Yeah. And if we want to talk about what's that next,
Crawford really picked it apart.
super fight, dude. Bud Crawford and Canelo.
I could see it, man.
Interesting, yeah.
I mean,
Boy.
so ESPN.
I'll pay for that. I'll pay $70 to watch.
For what
that.
it's worth,
that.
ESPN put out their pound for pound rankings. Canelo
Bud won. No,
Canelo
won.
won. Crawford was 2, though.
2.
I mean, this is a list. Tyson Fury was like 5 or 6.
And to be fair,
So
Bud has been number 1 for the last couple of years.
So
even while Canelo was doing his thing.
So it is worth noting that. For what it's worth, everyone has a different opinion on what ESPN's doing. However, that would be a dirty fucking fight, boy.
It'd be entertaining.
And you got a guy.
I don't know how you make a better fight than that.
You watched Crawford. He was kind of doing some Mayweather shit out there. Kind of doing his duck, dip, dive, dodge.
He was
You
fucking.
can dodge a brick. You can dodge a ball type shit out there.
Sure.
Crawford was out there as the aggressor. Man, it was entertaining to watch him push Crawford. I'm sorry, Porter was out there being the aggressor. Push Crawford around the ring. But Crawford picked up every single time Porter was throwing. He'd go overhand, bring his head down.
He had an answer, man. He did. He had an answer, but
and he answered, and he knocked him down twice.
That's the thing that makes Bud different, man.
It is.
He's very. I think that's a great point. Is he is on that Mayweather type of level as to, bro. It only takes him a couple. You might piece him up or whatever. All he's doing is figuring you out.
He's an analyzer.
He is an analyzer. And then,
boxer.
once he figures out, okay, here's where I go
and
to work.
Can finish you.
That's what I'm saying. That's what makes him different.
Right.
When he figures that shit out, he don't do it to be like, oh, here's how I can. He instantly is like, cool, here's how I finish this dude.
Right.
Yeah.
I just figured out how to finish the fight.
Yeah.
And
When
he
Crawford
goes
starts swinging,
and does it, bro. He does it over and over. So, I'll say for me, man, I had told Connor before, so I would love to see Teofimo Lopez and Gervonta Davis.
Yeah.
They got to fight.
Yeah.
And now I'm at that point, dude, Canelo and Bud, they have to see each other.
Right.
There's no more ducking each other. Y'all the two baddest guys out there, and you
inevitable.
That's what I'm saying. And you can meet. You got a weight that you can meet at. You know what I mean? You have to do it. And man, how much money does that fight make?
No kidding.
Canelo versus Bud,
Yep.
dude, that's a $1 million pay-per-view fight. Period.
Easily.
Yep.
Easily. He made what did we say last week? He made 800 off the Plant fight.
Yep.
800
He's-
views.
800
That's what I'm saying. He
Pay-per-view
made
sales.
800 pay-per-view sales,
And that's
off of the Plant fight.
And that's with some massive UFC fights going on at the exact same time.
With Caleb Plant.
Yep.
What do you think that'll do with Canelo versus
These two
Bud?
powerhouses.
Right.
The fight for the number 1 pound for pound title in the game.
Exactly.
Right.
Both undisputed champions. Dude, that is the fight right now.
That would be huge.
I don't know how they get to that, but they will.
I feel like it's an inevitable fight.
They got to get to that. That is a huge fight. But just to speak on the fight,
Yep.
so like we said, man, Porter was fighting a great fight. He did
was.
everything he was needing to do to win that fight, and Bud still beat his ass.
Yep.
So for me,
I know this isn't true.
he answered all the questions for me personally
Right.
that I had about Bud, because I had tons of questions about Bud. I really did.
Right.
I have no more questions about Bud.
Right.
Other than, dude, I want to see you in the ring with Canelo.
It's crazy to see.
That's it.
I mean,
and let's just
boxing
go see who the best
boxing is a sport of numbers, and Crawford went out there. It seems like it literally seems like he hit Porter 3 times, and the fight was over.
Yep.
I mean, I know that's not true. I know the numbers, whatever.
But
it really seems
that
he
kind of
only-
is true though.
It really
like,
feels like
the
he only
3
flung his
like
hand.
major
The 3
punches
major
he landed
hits.
ended the fight.
Into the fight to
Exactly.
the point that Porter's dad called that shit off, boy.
And he retired.
And he retired.
And
the
Porter
same
retired.
night.
That's nuts, man.
He walked away from the
Granted,
entire
Porter
movie.
we kind of all knew that Porter wasn't going to be that guy fighting into his 40s.
No.
We kind of knew that. And so he was getting up. That's a good fight to go out on. It is a little disappointing. And maybe he'll unretire at some point. But it's a little disappointing to not like have a number 2.
Yeah.
Right. This seems like the kind of thing that a Porter Crawford 2 could really make a lot of money itself.
Oh, absolutely. It's just a matter of will it happen.
And maybe it won't at this point. If Porter's committed to the retirement, we'll see what happens.
We'll see.
We're talking about
Porter Crawford 2.
I'm saying it's disappointing to potentially take that off the table at this point. Because that feels like one of those things where that you could argue that stoppage, like as a fan
You could
watching it
for sure.
And
nobody expected his dad was just gonna stop it.
Even in Porter's shoes, you could argue that
That's
stoppage.
what I'm saying. Like he was super confused by that.
But
shit.
Porter's dad came out and said, "Motherfucker didn't prepare well enough. I'm not gonna watch him
That's
sit
what I'm
here
saying.
and
He
get
knew he was
pieced
gonna
the
get his
fuck
ass.
up."
That's what I'm saying. He
That's
pretty
his
much
dad.
said
That's his
he
trainer.
Knew he was gonna get his ass beat.
You know, these are the people that know your tendencies, know what you're capable of, and he knew he wasn't there to win that fight that night.
Exactly.
Yep.
So
And he retired after. So
retired. That's
what can you
crazy
really
as fuck,
say,
boy.
man? Like
But we can move away from that. We had to touch on that because that was pretty major. Amon Shumpert, my guy. Congrats.
oh, you want to talk about mine for a minute?
Just quick. Just
Bruh,
quick.
my man was the first NBA player to win.
Dancing with the stars, baby.
Really?
Dancing with the
didn't
Stars.
know this.
First NBA player, Amon Shumpert, won that shit.
Huh.
Yeah, so just a casual little shout out. Congrats to Amon Shumpert, man.
Good shit.
Not much
Amon
news
Shumpert.
to talk about there, but
It's just a
history in the making.
That's
Little
fire,
shout-out,
bro.
little shout-out.
That's fire. For real.
Absolutely. Super cool.
Hey, so let's real quick, like we talked about NFL and shit. So let's just have a little catch all for everything else, not NFL.
Sure.
What are some things you're watching right now that's not NFL? Obviously NBA is a topic,
Right.
We
Yep,
talk
yep.
about
We got to talk about college football playoff picture right now. Cincinnati, first non-Power 5 team ever to make it in the top 4. Ever.
And
that's big news. They're
that's
11
huge
and
news.
0.
That's huge news. And
Jeez.
like, there's no. They tried to deny them, right? They tried to.
They tried.
They put all kinds of teams above them. Like at this point, you can't deny them no more.
Nope.
They're undefeated. They're 10 and 0, I think. Right
11
now.
and 0.
11 and 0.
11 and 0.
11 and 0. So they only got 2 more games, right?
Right.
So they got 2 more games. I said this earlier. For them, they really got to lock in. Just don't lose.
Right.
Right? Like at this point, they don't even. For the first 11 games, they had to be impressive. Like we talked about this before,
Right.
right? They needed that point differential. Like you guys are supposed to beat the shit out of people.
Right.
Right? We're now in the last 2 weeks of the season. That shit don't matter anymore.
Right.
For Cincinnati, all they need
You
to
made
do
the playoff picture.
That's what I'm saying.
Prove you deserve to be there.
Exactly. Just go win the 2 games you got left,
Keep yourself where you're at.
and we're gonna put you in.
Right.
Now, in my opinion, like I said, I told Connor earlier at work, I was like, I hope they do. Because
they'll probably
if
get
they do,
dogged by Georgia.
that is going to be one game that I load the motherfucking boat on. And if I'm wrong, I'll be like, bro, I'll take that loss, and I don't care. But I am going to bet a shitload of money on Georgia to beat the absolute brakes
Right.
off of Cincinnati in the playoff.
Right.
And if they prove me wrong, then so be it. And as a college football fan, I'll love it.
Right.
You know what I mean? And be like, that's great, and I'll take that loss. But for me, I'm like, boys,
Right.
please stay in that 4 spot, because Georgia gonna pay my mortgage for the next 6 months.
That'd be nice as fuck, boy.
That's where I'm trying to be, bro.
Right, right,
I'm
right.
telling you that for real. That's my entire plan.
Right, right.
On them being
Fuck
in
yeah,
the college football playoff. And do they deserve it? Absolutely. They should be there. You can almost argue they should move up a spot.
That would move Bama down.
They actually should be in the. That wouldn't move Bama down.
It would. Bama's 3. Ohio State's 2.
Ohio State jumped Bama this week?
Ohio State jumped Bama.
I've been talking about Ohio, man.
Ohio State jumped Bama, man.
I didn't even see that. That is crucial.
Yeah. Georgia's the only safe man right now.
I can't really hate on that, though, because what they did to Michigan State,
oh my God,
they deserved a jump.
Yeah.
Dominated.
Dude, that was... And Michigan State was ranked 7th at the time.
No, that's a huge win.
And they beat the brakes off of them. So I ain't really mad at that, considering, too, that Alabama struggled with Arkansas. They won by a touchdown late in the game. But I'm telling you guys, I've been saying it the whole time we've been on the show.
Don't sleep on Bama.
Put those motherfuckers in a neutral game.
Right.
None of y'all beating them.
That's right.
Nobody's beating them.
It's coming.
And until they do, I'm going to stick with that.
Yeah, these games are coming, man.
Straight up.
We'll see what happens.
So, college football, let's lay it out for everybody real quick. Top 4, we know what that is. Georgia.
1.
I would have said Bama. My apologies.
Ohio State,
so
2.
Ohio State jumped Bama. That's
Right.
probably, for me, that's the hugest news.
That's huge.
That's huge.
Gigantic.
That's huge.
So, they jumped Bama to 2.
The good news for Bama is even with a second loss, they would
They
stay
play
at the
Georgia.
They'd play at the. They'd still stay the 3 seed.
That's the thing is, Bama has everything in front of them.
Right.
So, and I could almost argue Georgia is almost
So
like...
Bama's got 2 more games this year.
Yeah, they got Auburn
And Georgia.
they got Georgia. So
And if they
Auburn, that's always a game you can lose. That's the absolute best rival in all of sports. We'll argue about that at another time because I know that's a debate type
That's
of question.
definitely a great debate topic.
There is not, and I'm telling you guys because I'm from there.
Sure.
There's not a bigger sports in all of sports. There's not. People literally live and die for fucking Alabama Auburn. They do. It's fucking retarded. But that's, like I said, that's a whole different thing. Right now, if you guys had to pick somebody to win the title, who you got, Connor?
Georgia for sure.
Who you got? Georgia.
100%.
Y'all know I'm
Georgia looks like the most dominant team.
Well, Georgia also
So-
has one of the best. Had for this entire year one of the best defenses.
I think they still have the
still
best
still
defense.
have
that defense is why
and
every
their offense is starting to actually come.
all
up
of us
pretty
football
well.
fans. That's why we pick Georgia because
It's that
we know,
defense.
like, bro, defense wins titles.
It
Their
does.
defense,
But
is
here's my thing.
killer.
So
I'm not saying Bam. Bam would be my second most likely. I'd say.
my thing is just like I said, man.
Ohio
for me,
State's sexy right
it's
now.
all
I
about
honestly-
it's all about the neutral field. If Bama had to go into Georgia and play, I think Georgia beats them by 2 touchdowns.
Right.
I do. But on a neutral field, man, 50% fans are yours, 50% fans are ours.
Right.
I just it's been proven over and over and over. Bama shows up for the biggest games there is,
true.
man.
Sure,
It's true.
When it's time to fucking put it all on the line,
Right.
since Saban has been at Bama, there's been no better team. So let's move on real quick. So let's talk a little bit about NBA.
Let's do it.
So obviously we touched about LeBron. We know the whole deal with that.
Yeah.
So
Suns
have
are-
you guys
Suns are
really
big news.
paid attention to what's happening, like far as standing wise, anything like that? What's going on in the NBA? So actually,
I'm very
I know you guys are not a
casually keep
huge
up.
NBA
I very
fan. So
casually keep up.
so, Matt, what's one thing that you've been seeing in the NBA right now that you'd be like, just, let me talk about this, what I've seen in the NBA.
Like
Last,
Lakers, Dookie.
I mean, the last week I've been kind of slow on. I've just been looking at scores more than anything.
So, how do you feel about your Nuggets? Or, why did I say Nuggets? Sixers.
I was saying, I'm a Sixers
Sorry,
fan.
guys. Remind me, too, I got a present for you. I forgot about that. He is a Philly guy.
Noted.
Okay.
So, Sixers. Tell me how you feel about your Sixers. And I'm glad we didn't go to the game because Embiid didn't even play. Did you know that?
Embiid didn't
did
play.
not play.
Embiid didn't play. They beat the shit out of the Nuggets that night, though.
They beat the tar off the Nuggets. But
They did.
I also recently just got our shit wrecked by Portland by the Trailblazers.
Game time.
Yep. So that was a little disappointing. Let's see. You know what?
Yeah, but they did get the Kings though.
They did get the Kings, and it looks like we're playing the Warriors. When is this game? This is important.
So here's the thing that
When are we playing
that
Golden State?
for me that really like bothers me about Philly. So
what are you getting at, man?
You realize Philly's in the 9 spot right now.
Yeah.
So we're only 18 games in the season. Mm-hmm. But 2 weeks ago, they were battling for the 1 spot. Mm-hmm. And Embiid's been hurt for 2 weeks. They fell from 1 to 9.
And I think
if that doesn't tell you they are a one-man team,
they are a one-man team.
I don't know
they
what
rely
does.
on Embiid like nobody's business. And it's sad because we have a really good shooter on there. That's Curry. Curry is a phenomenal shooter, but Embiid is the team. Let's be real here. Joel Embiid is.
But they've done such a poor job of building around him.
And that's the problem, is that they rely on him. They don't actually properly integrate him within a team dynamic.
But to be fair, though, the Lakers are in the 9th spot.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how that makes you feel as a Phillies fan to compare them to the Lakers. But
yeah, but the Lakers are in solid the 9th spot. At least the
Lakers
Phillies
are
are
hot
kind
trash.
of the Phillies are at least kind of almost tied for the 6th spot.
Yeah.
Facts.
This is true.
Like outside of like some split games and shit like that.
Facts. But like
it's a lot more competitive.
You can go. You could do the same thing for the Lakers, though.
I mean, it is early. It is early.
They're one loss.
They're
out
only
of the
one
6
game
spots.
behind the Nugs. Yeah,
Like
it's a fact.
1 win and 1 loss for the Trailblazers, and the Lakers go from 9 to 6. So
you know how good the Warriors got to be right now.
There's there's so much season ahead of us,
so
man.
much season.
But the point is
the
that
Warriors have to be
a
right
lot
now
of these
the
teams,
Suns being number 2.
They don't like.
They're 15-2 right now. The Golden State.
Mm-hmm.
The Suns.
And Phoenix is 14-3, and they've won 13 in a row.
That's what I'm saying. They won 13 in a row, and they're the 2 seed.
And they're the 2 seed.
Yep.
That's how good you have to be.
But
in Golden
did you
State.
guys know?
Golden
So
is about to play.
Phoenix.
Was about to play.
Obviously, you guys know they lost in the finals last year.
I do know that.
So for the last 8 years in the NBA, the person who has lost in the finals has made it back.
I can
now,
see Phoenix pulling back.
Only 50% of them have actually won the title.
Right.
But all 8 that have lost in the last 8 years have made it back.
They made it back.
And right now,
Suns in 6, baby.
And right now, the Suns have the second best record out of all those teams that made it back.
Right.
So they are very much, in my opinion, proven last year was not a fluke. Right?
No, absolutely not.
A lot of people thought hey man, this shit came out of nowhere. But truthfully, had you paid attention, it didn't come out of nowhere.
Right.
They were 8-0 in the bubble when they went to the bubble, right? So they almost made the playoffs in the bubble because they were undefeated. They didn't, but it kind of set the precedent of how they made the finals last year. Was they learned hey man, we're one of the baddest motherfuckers out here. You know what I'm saying? And we're doing this, and they did that in the bubble without CP3. So they went undefeated in the bubble without CP3. And then they signed CP3 in the offseason. And then that's when they were like, dude, we got something here. You know what I mean? And he took them all the way to the finals. And so now, it almost looks like they're going to get back, man.
It's legit.
They're a tough team, man. In the Western Conference,
nice.
they are tough, man.
Yeah.
They're getting to that point where I'm damn, man.
Yeah, they're not in the Eastern Conference.
If you play them in 7 games, who gonna beat them?
True.
You can beat them a game, but who gonna beat them 4 out of 7?
Right.
I don't know.
It's gonna be tough, man.
You know
However,
who gonna beat them 4 out of 7?
Clay ain't back yet,
which makes them beyond scary.
Yeah.
which
I've
makes
been
Golden
talking
State
about
that much scarier.
So don't
for sure.
forget, everybody just talks about Clay.
Right.
I've been saying, don't forget about James Wiseman. He was their number 1 pick. My man is going to average 20 and 10 for 8 years, solid. I'm telling you that. He is the best big man the Warriors have ever had. Ever.
He said ever, guys.
Ever.
And I'm telling you, guys, and we'll see how this ages,
Right.
but I'm telling you, he is the best big man they've had. When they get Clay and Wiseman back,
Right.
dude, you guys better hurry up and get them right now. And we can't even get them now.
Right.
You better get them now.
Right.
When they get them guys back, and they get ready to make this real push,
This can be kind of a random question. Who's your favorite 11-win team right now? There's 3 of them in the NBA.
So my favorite 11.
You got the Wizards, Hornets, and Utah, the Jazz.
I'll take Utah. I like them
Utah's
as
your
far
favorite?
as what they have and how far they can go. So one thing I don't like about Charlotte, they are super young, right?
Super young.
So super young. Do they have like that when you look out and be like, dude, them motherfuckers could be bad.
I like
5 years.
Charlotte, boy.
They could be
They
bad
looking nice
5 years from now. You know what I'm saying? But I think we've all just kind of understood like they'll make a nice playoff push. And
To win it, you need that veteran.
you know what I'm saying? So for me, I look at Charlotte like they're one of those teams. Like give them 3 years, they're a
Right.
problem.
Right.
They're
They're
a problem.
exciting now.
Right
Let's see
now
what they
they're
develop
they're
into.
building that. You know what I'm saying? And I think they're gonna make the playoffs. I do. I think they'll fuck around and be at the 8 seed, and they'll
Probably.
give whoever the 1 seed is a problem.
Sure.
But they'll lose. And it'll only take time for them. The Wizards, I think they're an absolute fluke.
Yeah.
I think they're an absolute fluke right now.
So who's the star? Is it still John Wall out there balling out?
No. Bradley Beal is the dude.
Well, Beal. See,
Beal is the dude.
Full
So
reference,
John
folks. I
Wall
keep up mostly on playoffs
is
time.
rotting right now
Okay.
in Houston.
Oh, poor guy.
He is on their bench rotting right now. They won't trade him, and he's making $45 million this year to not play.
Boy.
Well,
Was it
Worst,
fireplace penis or what?
worst team in the
A
NBA.
little bit of fireplace penis. Maybe see what
Worst team in the league?
Well, Houston is.
By far, they're like 1 in
Not
18
close.
or something.
Yeah,
1 in
not-
16.
Yeah, it's not-
Yeah,
it's not even
they're
close.
terrible.
Fireplace. That would be the only other news I could think of for the catch-all. What was it?
So we talked about
what's his name?
So a little bit of NCAA men's. I just want to throw this out there
Throw it
because
out.
for me it's a huge deal.
University of Wyoming's undefeated.
They are. That's a huge thing.
That's pretty good.
Fucking 5-0, and
Hometown.
on top of that, not only are they undefeated, but they did travel to Washington, which is a Pac-12 school. Beat them.
Fucked them up.
I got to go watch them courtside. Me and my boy, fire. They have some decent talent. So good interjection there. But I just want to throw out, without any of the score, none of that shit, dude. It was for me amazing to see Dickie V back
Right, we were talking
for
about
college
Silver.
basketball.
Yep.
If you guys didn't see him come back tonight, he came back for the Gonzaga UCLA game, which was the number 1 and number 2 teams in the country. I haven't watched the game yet. I'll watch that when these fuckboys go home.
Heck yeah.
And see what the deal is with that. But a great thing, so if you guys didn't know, Dickie V actually had a battle with cancer himself. He has been probably on the forefront for battling cancer, especially amongst college basketball. Since Jimmy Valvano died, Dickie V kind of took over that to raise awareness for cancer, raise money for cancer through ESPN. So he went through all that, man. He came back tonight. My man lost his shit. I don't know if you guys seen that. I told Connor, like, dude,
You tell me about it. I haven't
he
seen
wasn't
it.
able to control his emotions. He broke down at the beginning of the game. They was thanking him like for being back and shit, and he
Right.
lost it, dude.
Huge emotional moment like that.
And it was great. Like, it was perfect for how it should have been. He was apologizing like to the fans and shit. Like, I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? Let's talk about basketball. And
Right.
the dude that was with him said it perfect, man. He was like, you, Dickie V, never have to apologize for anything, my man. You are college basketball, and we are more than blessed to have you back.
He's even more than college basketball.
He is, man. He is. Dickie V is college. So I just wanted to throw that out there, man. Super excited to see Dickie V back. That is
Heck yeah.
amazing.
Congrats.
As a college basketball fan, you can't replace Dickie V, man.
Right.
He is. That's amazing. So
Shout
for
out.
me, like I said, a lot of other shit I could talk about college basketball, but that's really, for me, that was the only thing that mattered. Dickie V is back.
That matters.
That
That's
does matter. Well, I think that's everything.
no. We're unofficially sponsored.
This is true. We are unofficially sponsored by the state of Wyoming.
Yeah.
A great state.
State of Wyoming, unofficial sponsor, where only you can drive your fucking horse to school and have your principal take care of that motherfucker.
These are facts. That is a real rule.
This is a fact.
That is a real rule.
Unofficially sponsored by the state of Wyoming, in which it was state law you would come out of state prison and receive a 38 special.
I like
Also
that.
facts.
I gotta go to
500
prison.
gold piece.
I'm going straight to prison so I can cap y'all.
I need to come out of there as a proper felon.
That's a proper
That's a proper felon.
Whatever that
I can't own guns, but Wyoming's gonna give me one anyway. America.
Facts.
Welcome to Wyoming.
America.
Sponsored by Wyoming.
Sponsored by Wyoming, where
Our roads are longer than yours.
America.
And they're still fucking broken.
Yo, that shit is fire. All right, so where we at?
Social shoutouts, boy.
Boy,
Time.
get it.
Social
Get it.
shoutouts, boy. All right, so I will go ahead and lead the charge on the social
Let's get
shoutouts,
it.
just because mine is super simple, super easy. Hit me up on Twitter at Connor Left Court, CONNORLEFT COURT. It ain't hard. All I do really is retweet, quote tweet. Mostly stuff pertinent and related to the show. We don't necessarily talk about everything I retweet. It's a lot of shit. It's every day. It's got to be 10 to 20 things every fucking day I hit up.
Way more entertainment on the retweets than you get on the show from Connor. Facts.
Absolute facts.
Yeah.
Hit me up. You can also interact with me. I honestly, following's not huge. If you want to see or hear anything specific on the show, feel free to hit me up. We'll try to incorporate it somehow, because the show, at the end of the day, as fun as it is for us to interact with each other, is for you guys.
What about you guys?
Facts. So for me, man, at RichInvestNow41 on Twitter. So for me, you're really gonna get investing. That's kind of what I do. You're gonna get some investing knowledge. You'll get some self-motivation type of things. Connor pretty much takes care of shit about the show. So I really don't retweet a lot about that type of shit. And like Connor said, man, anything you guys want to hear, whether you want to hit him up on his, on mine, on Matt's, man, hit us up. The show is all about you guys. So hit me up, RichInvestNow41. Yeah, that's all I got.
I'll just shout out my Twitter, because you can find all my other social medias there too. At MattCam2994. My stuff is not nearly as productive as either Connor's or Rich's. It has nothing to do with the show, nor does it have anything to do with really anything. I'll just tweet shit when I feel like it.
Fuck yeah.
I like that shit.
Hey, by the way, not to interject in case Matt had anything else, for the folks that listen, our ultimate goal with this social shout out is not just to gain followers on some social media platforms. That shit comes with time and us interacting with people
it's
anyway.
Inconsequential.
It is because at some point we want to turn this social shout out thing from where we're shouting out our shit to where we can shout out your shit.
Yes.
We want to get you guys to become part of our show, whether it's to bring on your questions, to bring on your concerns, to bring on your fucking jokes or your sixth sense of humor. We want that shit on our show.
We want you.
We want to replace us with you guys as much as fucking possible.
And
so hit us up.
don't be shy to let us know. You know what I'm saying? Like Connor was saying, like, you want to hear some shit, or we ain't fulfilling whatever it is, like, and you got, dude, hit us up. Like, hey, that fucking segment y'all did was trash, but here's what you guys should be doing, because this is what us as listeners want to hear.
Yeah.
And we'll adjust the show, man. Like you said, it's all about you guys. It's fun for us, but definitely we want to put out some content, some value for you guys. So that's what it's all about.
Hey, we got that website up and running?
No.
All right. Hey, guys, website. It's
Still
coming.
coming.
Stay tuned.
Still coming.
We'll let you know when it's ready, and you can interact with us there as well.
Yep. I wouldn't. Like they said, this is really just so we can get you guys to interact with us. At the end of the day, we're all on a left court.
Out of left court, baby. Deuces.